Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. A little awkward there to start. Didn't have the music quite timed up with the countdown, but it happens. It's a Monday. What can you say? Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it. Whether you stay for the whole time or skip around, I appreciate you nonetheless. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy what you see. Hit the follow button, of course, on Twitch if you want to watch live. These are all member requested videos that we're going to react to today. So if you would like to join up, you can certainly do so. toddreacts.com is the website that I constructed myself. It's not the greatest looking website, but I tried, okay? I tried. I do refresh it from time to time, but it's currently what I got going. But check it out. Certainly the season and the series tiers are what you're looking for. And while you're there, check out the accessories that's currently available. The summer collection ended, as you can see at the top. Newsflash, winter collection is coming. So is Halloween. Guess what? Those two things are together. The winter collection will be launching on October 31st on Halloween. So I will be showing you little snippets, little sneak peeks, all that kind of stuff as we go along this month of October. As you can see, I did add back it's right above me right here. I did add back the double knit beanie. Just in time for the winter months. So that will be back in the store. That's not part of the winter collection. I was just like, I should bring that back. It is going to get cold here eventually for some of us. So might as well have it available. Beanie's cozy. I'm glad you like it, Jace. Glad you like it. So it is now back in the store for those of you who want to give it a shot, wear it, and enjoy it, and enjoy a little head warmth when we need it the most. The journal is brand new, of course. The script bag, the script pillow, and the 2 stickers. Those are all brand new from the latest collection. And then, of course, we have these wonderful, wonderful options here that have been in the store that just get added to over time. I have the rocks glass in front of me, of course. It's got a nice little energy drink in there. And I do have the double wall tumbler. Keeps my hands dry, drink cold for the stream, which should help tremendously with the amount of talking I'm about to do. But go ahead and check out the items available. Those never go away. Those just get added to over time, of course. And if you're already there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Over 14,200 of you have already hit it, which is awesome. I appreciate it greatly. So go ahead and hit that button today. It kind of tells the algorithm, hey, I enjoy this. I want to see more of this kind of thing. And I do point this out every once in a while. There are a bunch of playlists as well. So go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Before we jump into this, what's up, Cassie? Welcome in. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I tried to play it pretty... I wouldn't say boring. I would say slow. It is October, so I am making a point to watch some sort of Halloween. Doesn't have to be spooky every time. It could be like a thriller or horror film or something like that. But I am making a point to do that pretty much every night in this month. It's not an easy thing to do if you're not a huge fan of horror films, which I am not. I kind of jump scare easy. If you haven't seen it on this channel, you probably will. It just is something, I don't know. I just get lost in it and I jump scare very easily. So if you're ever wondering, whoever jumps at these things, that would be that would be me. So I ended up watching last night a little movie. It's a family film. It's just a lovely sit down with your parents, your siblings, great uncle, who knows, extended family. Just sit around a fire and watch this beautiful Disney family film called Hostel. It's really just a wonderful, heartfelt, good ending, good twists and turns, and certainly not mature at all. I'm kidding, of course. I'm being facetious. It is a nightmare. It is gory for the sake of gore. It is surprising amount of nudity. Like, there is a lot of nudity in this. I was kind of like, I was after like the third, fifth, 10th, 20th pair of well, what's a word I can use? Upper region. I don't even know what I can say. Pair of yitties, I guess we'll say. That's as close to it as I could probably get. I was just like, was this just Eli Roth trying to come up with a way to see the most amount of yitties on screen? I was floored. I was like, what is happening here? Like, and part of me was just like, okay, I get it. Reel them in, right? You're seeing like nudity, and it's almost like Euro Trip and that movie, I think it was called Road Trip with Tom Green. Like it's very like it's like a frat bro kind of thing where they're just kind of pulling you in with good times and drinking and partying and nudity, and then they just beat you over the head with just the most insane, horrendously gory, like torture prawn, if you will. Like it does a complete 180, like halfway through the film. Like I assume all that nudity had a reason, and that's the closest thing I can come up with, other than the fact that, maybe it's just for the sake of it. Who knows? But yeah, it was just shocking, honestly. Horror and exploitation of women goes in hand. That's a fair point. Fair point. I'm weird. True crime doesn't tend to freak me out, but Criminal Minds or horror movies do. I think it's the music, atmosphere, stuff on top. Yeah, absolutely. Like if it's really good, like it all of a sudden goes silent, but it wasn't like a jarring silent. Like they slowly went into a silence, and it was silent before you even realized it was silent, and then bang, something happens. Like that's a good jump scare. Sometimes it's not as good, but boy, when they nail it, like they perfectly set up the moment, the music slowly fades out. So slow you don't even know it's happening. Like those are the moments that get me probably the worst. Best friends Josh and Paxton decide to spend the summer after college graduation on an all-out backpacking trip across Europe. While stopping in Amsterdam to indulge their tastes for drugs and intimacy, they meet Ollie, a like-minded traveler from Iceland, when the three bachelors set off to investigate enticing rumors of a Slovakian hostel in a city populated by lusty women. They find themselves drawn unwittingly into a deadly game. It was very much like a siren call, but just their sheer stupidity of being played was just crazy to me. Like, at one moment, and yes, this is spoiler alerts, but this thing came out like forever ago, 2006. So if you haven't seen it by now, I mean, whatever. Check it out on your own time. But the main dude, I can't remember what his name was. The plot was so lackluster. That's probably why these scores are so poor. But the main dude has a chance to escape. And in classic cliche horror film, plot device, he chooses not to. He has a bit of a conscience when, he thinks he can save somebody who he just met 2 seconds ago. And instead of saving his own back end, he saves or tries to save her as well. Turns out, it did work out in his favor in the long run. I won't go into detail. You can watch it if you want to watch it. But it is one of those moments where you're just watching and you're just realizing, it's going through that classic horror film, like, just get out. Just get out. You can run. You're out. You're in a car. You have a key. It could turn on. Just do it. And then he does it. But yeah, it's a unbelievable movie. Not in the fact that it's amazing. It is what it is. It is extremely, I would say this critics' consensus is pretty accurate. Featuring lots of guts and gore, which is true. There's one moment in this movie that has stuck with me for years. Years. It is cringe-inducing. and it was just as cringe-inducing as I remembered it. Somebody gets their Achilles tendons, both of them, sliced, and that was one of the worst injuries that I've ever seen on film. Oh gosh. That was one scene. If I think back to the movie, I didn't even remember all the nudity, okay? I didn't remember that. That was kind of shocking this time around because it didn't register. But that one moment of those Achilles tendons getting sliced stuck with me through everything. Since 2006, I have remembered that one scene. Ooh, it's brutal. It is so brutal. Hostel is a wildly entertaining corpse-filled journey, assuming one is entertained by corpses, guts, and gore, that is. It is definitely daringly creative, I will say that. Hostel's merely unpleasant and more than a little dumb. That's fair. That's a fair reaction to it. The first act's filler, yeah, it's a lot of nudity, is basically what it is. Otherwise, it's a squirmer. Bring a bucket. Yeah, it's brutal. It is. I had to watch YouTube after watching this thing. I'm like, I need a palate cleanser. I need something. Like, give me puppies and, rainbows and gumdrops. And I was like, give me anything that doesn't involve death or torture or anything like that. Like, I was just not having a good time last night. Just remember an old Eddie Izzard stand-up routine about horror movies. All the characters have had their common sense glands removed. That's true. That is absolutely true. Movie is rough all around. The gore was well done and was something different we hadn't seen before in a horror film. Yeah, I would say I would absolutely agree with that. I wouldn't say the story is one that you'll remember, but boy, it might have certain moments that you remember. Whew. So I don't know if you're spending the month of October watching films like that, but I definitely will not watch more of those. Maybe one, maybe two, but I can't handle slashers every night of the week. I just can't do it. I tried it once and it didn't. I nearly quit. I nearly quit watching horror films in October. I was like, I'm done. I can't handle any more of these. So maybe one or two more in the month, but everything else will be, Halloween Town and that kind of stuff. So it's been interesting. And of course, a classic, Johnny Depp, Sleepy Hollow. I'll have to watch that. That's like a yearly routine for me at this point. I have to watch that. It is quite the classic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Gets you into the spirit, Gets you into the spirit. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into these. We have 5 amazing member-requested videos, of course, off toddreacts.com. We're going to kick off here with Veronica Mars edits. And then we're going to move on to Sunako Nakahara. I don't believe I've seen that before, so that'll be a totally brand new experience. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. And then we have a Sweet Home final. I think it's just called Sweet Home. I believe Jay said I reacted to this quite a long time ago. So that'll be interesting. It's kind of interesting because there's so many things I react to that some get lost, Maybe I like it, I enjoy it. Oh, it's the final season? Nice. I like it, I enjoy it, and then it just gets buried in my mind. So this will be kind of interesting. It'll be almost like I watch it for the first time, literally. Certainly the first time I've seen the edit, so that'll be interesting. But and then we are going to move on to The Summer I Turned Pretty. This one is Jeremiah and Belly. I believe last time we watched Conrad, or Connie and Belly. So this will be interesting. It'll be the other side of the coin. I think I referred to this as Twilight in that first reaction of like, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Are you Connie or Jer, I guess is his shorthand name. So we'll watch that. I did pull up some extra Reddit links of conversations, kind of hot takes, which would be kind of interesting. It'll get your get your debate mind going, and you can talk about that in the comments. And then, of course, we are going to end and kick off the rest of your week with a Doctor Who, the 14th Doctor compilation. Should be quite nice and a good way to end the stream. So I'm glad you're here. Get yourself something to eat, drink, whatever you need. And, of course, as always, timestamps will be down below in the video description on YouTube when it gets uploaded. Let's jump into this. Veronica Mars edits. Can't stay up too late. No worries, no worries. Oh, that was your request. Well, if you want, this is live. I can quickly and easily move it forward. Would you rather it be earlier? I could just do it right after Veronica. No problem there. Just a click and a drag. If you don't mind, I do not mind. I can definitely move it. All right, let's move it a little. There we go. Boom, done. And then we'll just move the information here, and we're good to go. No problem at all. I have no problem, rearranging these things. I just kind of pick them based off of what I think would make a good, flow. I don't even know what that is, because I have never seen these before. So most of the time it's just, pure instinct, I guess. But we'll do Veronica, then Doctor Who, then Sunako, then Sweet Home, and then we'll end with The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I think is a good flow regardless. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the roller coaster indeed. At this point, I think I found next year's summer collection merch, the roller coaster. I think that's a good idea. Let's jump into the first one. It is Veronica Mars edits TikTok and Instagram. This is the editor says this is a compilation of some of my favorite shorts from Veronica Mars. All right. Love to hear that. Let's check it out. Let me get rid of this hostile information. We do not need that anymore. Oh, gosh. Starting off with some tears. Why not, right? Oh, this is a little bit of a longer video. I didn't realize it. About 19 minutes.
Okay, don't. Seriously.
What happened to you?
You tell me. It was meant for me. They all died because of me. You know who I am. You know what I do.
And
it isn't gonna change.
It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say what we get to be.
Classic.
We rewrite the stars, changing the world to be ours.
One of the best musicals to release in quite a while.
I think it's just a typical way to explain how I miss you.
Notice I said one of. Of course, I'm aware of Wicked. Got about one more month till the second Wicked shows up.
Yeah. I have no idea what compelled me to do that.
Is it because you're 5?
I'm a little punchy. I haven't been sleeping.
Thoughts of me? Hey, I get it. Sometimes I'm up all night just thinking about myself.
Oh my God.
Veronica Mars is smarter than me.
Oh, stop.
She's been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet girl.
Classic Billy Joel. Classic.
Day is complete. Veronica Mars has accused me of
I would say he and Nathan from One Tree Hill had quite the arc.
Don't flatter yourself. The only reason I came here is so I
Jerk
won't have to feel
teen
responsible.
that turned it around. It became, decent human being.
For Grant's head.
Veronica Mars is smarter than me.
Oh, stop.
I cannot believe this show was on television
These are Snickers.
when I was, around, and I never
You're the
watched
one
it.
who's been making my spirit boxes?
It's crazy.
I used to be on Pep Squad, remember?
Do you think all this stuff is stupid?
You?
Especially the fact that this show was huge. It's kind of crazy how, these big cultural phenomena can go on and you actually have no idea.
They have to be a computer genius.
You wouldn't have to be. It's a slippery slope, boy.
I just don't have time to be responsible for every little thing that goes wrong in your life.
You have a problem with Veronica, you leave. Actually, you have a problem with Veronica, you're pretty much dead to me.
And the only person I still care about is dumping me. You think I'm having fun?
I thought our story was epic, you know? You and me.
I think I'm missing one, though. Give me your wallet, kid.
Eat a dick.
Okay, but I like them well done.
Good Lord. I was not expecting that. You know what? I just realized I didn't plug in the Ethernet back into the computer, so if we lose a couple frames, it is what it is. That is Wi-Fi, but it shouldn't have any massive issues. I would consider plugging it back in, but I don't want to risk it. It might just kick me completely off. If it gets bad, I will, but...
I need to report a crime.
It was great about Veronica Mars that I'm kind of thinking about. Kind of flies in the face of a lot of those high school girls shows where they're just constantly worried about drama and
And I have something to admit.
kind of superfluous stuff. Meanwhile, here's Veronica using her smarts. She's basically like a
Love.
30-year-old trapped in a high school body. Like, she's super mature. She's
About unicorns.
thinking through all these like detective things. Like, it is very inspiring. It's the girls that, you know, study and all that stuff and get good grades and really cerebral. You know, it's kind of like the difference between Homer Simpson and, you know, monks. Like, one is clearly more cerebral than the other, so it's kind of covering all the bases. So maybe it's a little bit more relatable for people that, you know, use their brain a little bit more. And they're, you know, thinking things through, and those of us that seemingly matured faster than others.
I'm sorry, did
I'm not
someone
even
say my
saying
name?
that it's, you know, ideal. For some of us, it was almost like we missed a little bit of childhood just because we
You don't like
just
me much, do you? Didn't play it right the first time, huh?
like we lost that kind of childhood wonder kind of thing.
A Saturn for a Mars.
In Neptune.
For me, it
the
was
planets
obviously,
really aligned for this one. Now,
family health
move
issues and
Uranus.
stuff like that.
Mercury's rising.
Being introduced to mortality at a very early age just skipped childhood for me. Like, just immediately out of childhood. Instantly aged like 20 years.
Hi, I'm Veronica Mars. I've got a secret. A good one.
Obviously, Veronica's been through it. That definitely helped age her a little bit, too.
I love you, I'm sorry. You were the best, but you were the worst. As sick as it sounds, I loved you first. I was a dick, it is what it is. I happen to kick the age-old curse. I tend to laugh whenever I'm sad. I stare at the crash, it actually works. Making amends, this shit never ends. I'm wrong again, wrong again.
I can't be what you need. I am a star in a dream. I am a star in a dream.
You're not a killer, Veronica.
If it was so tender and loving, why did I wake up by myself? He killed my father!
I've only seen the first 3 episodes. My girlfriend started a nostalgia rewatch. Nice.
They all died because of me.
It does seem like there are some of those,
Wallace is a
you know,
friend of mine.
teenage drama
Take
moments,
that, high
but
school guidance counselor.
not as much. Which is good, because there's some of us that kind of don't go through that. So it's not relatable. So this becomes, you know, something that's somewhat more relatable. Although not many of us are detectives in high school.
Wow. This is a little embarrassing.
I find it kind of charming that, you know, the styles, the hairstyles, what they're wearing. Some of the music sometimes basically records this little time in history. And we'll be able to look back on this and be like, oh, that's what that was like. Because, you know, it's tough to remember sometimes the details.
No.
Not particularly.
That's the spirit!
Like, if you were to ask me what was the fashion of 1998, I would go, I have no idea. I lived through it, and I still have no idea. But I can watch stuff like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. I remember that. Very much a time capsule of the current moment. Quite the love story there, too.
Bev, you got that Bible handy? Your left hand, please.
Ow. Oh. That burns.
That's funny.
If you're asking me to the prom again, the answer is still no.
I can't get him off my back.
Did you try standing up?
You really like me.
Yeah, what, you forgot about me already?
It's wild that Amanda was in this.
As a rule, I like to start every school day with a hot blonde waiting for me in the parking lot.
Me too.
I'm not blonde.
Or hot.
Boom. Roasted. Or as I say, cooked.
What did he say? It was worth getting taped to a pole.
She was dead before it started, though. Her character was only in flashbacks. Very creative.
I still got love for you.
Don't you understand? Oh, my little girl. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary. They can only
One thing's for sure, this is a very bougie high school. Very bougie. Boy, some of these songs just hit, don't they? It's so difficult to, I'm assuming, to pick a song that pairs with the video, but doesn't distract. Like, if it's too good of a song,
Do you think all this stuff is stupid?
it'll distract big time.
This happened at the start. Every time we try, we fall apart. You can't seem to hold my heart close to you. And I know you make it clear that you want me out of here. There is no nearness you fear close to you.
If I could take her down and run, then I'd call her. 'Cause she's standing drama.
I will ruin your life, got it?
She kidding on the sun and then she order. Imagine me, imagine she I don't take her number, just not think I call her.
The only comeback I can come up with that, I'm gonna ruin your life. I just would have been like, what life? Good luck.
Veronica, this is a Mars investigation matter. I'm Mars.
And who am I?
Veronica, and you're staying.
Veronica Mars. And you're on painkillers. All I wanted was you.
Excellent song choice. Excellent song choice. It's of the time, too.
You were the worst, as sick as it sounds. I loved you first. I was a dick, it is what it is. I happen to kick the age-old curse. I tend to laugh whenever I'm sad. I stare at the crash, it actually works. Making amends, the shit never ends. And wrong again.
Why does trouble follow you around?
Because she finds trouble. That's why. The disguise, though.
Veronica Mars is smarter than me.
Oh, you stop it.
Hey, Veronica Mars.
Why does trouble follow you around?
Remember this moment, because you're gonna regret it. Here's what you do. You get tough. You get even. Anxious to find out how far I'll go?
Before we go in there, you should probably know something about Veronica Mars. We need to be careful with this one. She's slippery.
Slippery.
Did you just call me lady?
Wiley.
The boy doesn't know it yet, but he's the living dead.
One thing's for sure, if you're a detective, you need a massive lens on your camera. A massive lens for those distance shots.
The newspaper seek to be around Duncan.
No. I'm here so I can be closer to you.
I can't be the only one that watches like stakeouts or whatever, whether it's Veronica doing it or somebody else, and going, that'd be kind of fun. You know, snacks. You got your stakeout snacks. You're in the car. You got the camera with the big lens. I don't know. For some reason, it just seems like a fun little hangout. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, it's dangerous as well. Like there is some sort of like, you're trying not to be seen because you're trying to catch something potentially illegal. Like, yeah, then the reality of it snaps back. But I guess I just want to have snacks in the car and hang out, I guess. I don't know. But something about watching, you know, stakeouts on movies and films is always so interesting to me. Link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love, and also check out their channel. They might have other videos you might be interested in to check out. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pull up some information. I'll throw the link in the chat there for you. Let's pull up some information on Veronica Mars. TV writer. Reminisces on the cult classic series. Mentioning the name Veronica Mars in any kind of group setting will get you a whole lot of blank stares. I should know, it's happened to me more than once. Released in 2004 alongside cultural phenomenons such as Lost and House. I never watched Lost. Obviously, I was aware that it was a huge, huge thing. Everybody was watching Lost. Everybody was talking about the final season, what's going to happen. The finale was huge. It was like a cultural touchstone. Like everyone was talking about it. I was watching House and Smallville and that kind of stuff. That ate up the bulk of the general public's attention. Veronica Mars was sidelined for its 4 seasons of runtime. It left the air without receiving the widespread recognition it deserved, instead being relegated to cult classic status. While the show can be engaged with as much as a classic drama, at its heart and soul, it is a nitty-gritty teen noir with an overarching murder mystery that jerks the viewer left, right, up, down, R1, R2, L1, L2. Every chance it can get, Veronica Mars toys with your emotions and expectations in the best possible way. The series is centered around its titular character, Veronica, of course, a witty, fire-spitting student, previously charmed life in Neptune, California. I mean, the high school was literally by the beach. I mean, what more do you want? It was literally on the Pacific coast. Takes a turn after the murder of her best friend, Lily Kane, Amanda, who we talked about earlier. Veronica's father, the county sheriff, mistakenly accuses Lily's billionaire father of the murder, and when his innocence is proven, the sheriff is replaced and disgraced by the community. Highbrow elite crowd, known as the 09ers, nicknamed for their fictional zip code, that Veronica used to seamlessly fit in with reject her when she chooses loyalty to her father over them. The class dynamics in the show are compelling enough to stand alone. The Mars family's fall from grace, as well as their sudden drop by a few tax brackets, puts them in a unique status with this polarizing society. Interesting. As Veronica uncovers evidence that the man convicted for Louis' murder may be innocent, she falls deeper and deeper into a web of carefully crafted secrets and lies, all while helping the school's population, who are in need of her sleuthing skills, to uncover the mysteries behind the sunny facade of Neptune. Juxtaposes the setting of this cheerful tourist town with the twisted scenes and mysteries it hides: manicured lawns, white picket fences covering up a cesspool of drugs and assaults. Veronica herself is hands down the most compelling part of the show. She's Nancy Drew with a kind of depth that is often not written for female characters. Cynical, pushy, sometimes brash, certainly imperfect, but also empathetic, determined, generous to a fault, often forsaking her own safety in a self-sacrificial manner to solve the next case. Takes the best from the 2000s television and flips tropes on their head, subverting the viewer's I hate this saying. Oh my gosh. Subverting the viewer's expectations. Oh, it is so overplayed. Gosh. I will not disable my ad blocker. Thank you very much. I will absolutely not do it, especially while streaming. Veronica Mars is still a must-watch 21 years later, and you can binge it all this weekend. This was just published last month. Or no, 2 months ago at this point. What time is it? What year is it? 2 months ago. Before Kristen Bell voiced Gossip Girl. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot that. Became a household name as Frozen's Anna. She headlined a critically acclaimed yet frequently underappreciated crime drama that combines teen angst and classic noir. All right, let's skip past the information we've already gone through. Timeless classic combination of whodunit, coming-of-age angst, and social commentary that continues to resonate. Redefines teen drama with gritty noir precision. A murder mystery turns high school into a dark, addictive thriller. Years prior to teen dramas embracing the darker storyline, Veronica Mars mastered the combination of noir and teen high school. Created by Rob Thomas, Veronica Mars follows the... Obviously, we don't need to go through the bio again. Her father's a former blah, blah, blah. We already did that. The town is its own character, social status, economic privilege. Fall from grace, of course. Mixing procedural plotting with serial sophistication, the show achieves high suspense, character drama so rarely achieved. Simply does not retell mystery stories. Instead, it creates an entire universe in which justice is elusive and personal integrity is constantly at risk. Kristen Bell commands the screen with a career-defining performance. Breakthrough role is the heart and edge of the series, which is surprising for the fact that she was 24 years old, which, by the way, is not a high school age. From the opening scene, I was looking at the show and I was just like, all right, there is no chance she's in high school. None at all. And I was right. She makes Veronica an engaging... For some reason in the 2000s, we were on that of like mid-20s, early 30s if they looked young enough. Oh yeah, those are high schoolers. Gave literally everybody a complex. We're just like, we don't look like that. We don't look like that at all. Chiseled jaws and all that stuff. It's just like, come on now. That is not realistic. She makes Veronica an engaging character to observe, not just because she's a crime solver, but because she battles personal tragedy and social injustice, both courageously and wittily. Chemistry with co-stars enhances the show's emotional resonance. Relationship with her father is interesting. Seamlessly shifts between detective mode and vulnerable scenes, acting a character who is emotionally closed off as she is open. Veronica's not invulnerable. She makes mistakes, holds grudges, struggles with trust. Belle performs those contradictions in earnest, making Veronica not just a role model, but an extremely human heroine. Her performance is the standard to which teen female heroes on genre television are judged. A crime series that dares to tackle trauma, power, and privilege, themes that still hit hard today. Constantly tackles critical and socially responsible issues. The show starts with an act of violence. Veronica describes getting drugged and SA'd at a party. Rather than sensationalizing the assault, the show addresses what happens afterwards. The institutional failings, the victim blaming, Veronica's quest for justice, etc. Socioeconomic divide, of course, as we mentioned before. Kind of the fall from grace, losing polite society, as they call it, losing their favor. Why Veronica Mars still deserves your time, cult legacy, divisive revival, and why it's still worth watching. Because of network ratings, the show originally ended after a 3-season run. However, in 2013, the record-breaking Kickstarter fund brought the franchise back with a fan-backed film. Continued popularity and committed fan base are proven by the overwhelming response, more than $5 million raised. The 2014 film gives fans the much-awaited closure and reunites the original cast, bringing nostalgia and venturing into new directions in Veronica's life. The show returned in 2019 once again for a Hulu revival season. The fourth version becomes darker and more adult in tone, reflecting Veronica as a full-time adult PI. While the revival received mixed reviews, mainly because of a highly controversial death, one thing I've learned is that if you want Veronica Mars fans to start talking and really getting into it, just bring up that last death on screen, and they'll really start talking. That is definitely something I've noticed. Regardless of whether fans love or hate the darker direction, the revival demonstrates the show's relevance and creative risk-taking. 20 years after the run, Veronica Mars remains a testament to the versatility of genre television, using the lens of good fiction to address real-world issues. Witty dialogue, intricate plotting, emotional depth, it defies both teen soap and detective fiction conventions to create a hybrid genre that is still fresh and pertinent. Personal loss, moral compromise, ultimately the question of justice, she emerges as both a great character and a cultural icon. For anyone who's never watched Veronica Mars, now is the time to begin. For longtime fans, might as well dive right back into it, I suppose. And if it's your comfort show, you're already watching it anyway, so... This person said, I'm still sad Veronica Mars Season 5 never happened. I asked about why and got a great answer about the show where the show's creator wanted to go next. Okay. All right. Let's see this. Mystery drama aired from 2004 to 2007. The film was in 2014. Hulu, Season 4 in 2019. Season 5 never ended up happening. When I asked Enrico Colantoni, who played Veronica's father, Keith, about this, he shared a great answer with me about what creator Rob Thomas had wanted to take this saga next. That's cool. It's a little bit of information we hadn't known. In addition to talking about his guest appearance in Suits LA and why he considers Galaxy Quest to be a badge of honor, hey, I liked Galaxy Quest. There's some weird, enjoyment I get out of that movie. It was a weird movie, but it was still fun. I know it's regarded as one of the worst, but hey, you know what? You got to see it for yourself. People, can whatever they want to can, but you are the true judge. All right, he said, I'm such a fan of Rob Thomas, and I know what he wanted to do. I would like to see him fulfill that vision. He always wanted to go back to Veronica being on her own and being the outlier and not being attached to anything. So we were hoping that after one season on Hulu, we would have explored what that would look like. Okay, back on our own, nitty gritty. Interesting. But I'm afraid that killing off of a very beloved character might have shot ourselves in the foot. I would love to go back and see where his mind really wanted to end and come to fruition for him, but I don't think he got that. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That would have been... Well, that's two different directions, right? If Logan survived and didn't perish, it would have been the happily ever after, right? That's interesting. Why? It had to have been performance or something like that. Why they wouldn't do season 5. Maybe it just didn't pull the numbers that they wanted to see. Even though it's been half a decade since Veronica Mars season 4 hit Hulu, I'll be courteous and put a spoiler warning to be safe. Well, yeah, at this point, Logan is the character he's referring to. Yeah, by the end of season 4, Logan was no more, a.k.a. Egon. Immediately after he and Veronica were married and getting ready to leave for their honeymoon, Logan was blown up by a car bomb, who was a copycat Neptune bomber. It was a bold move for Rob Thomas to kill off Logan, but as the actor confirmed, it was all part of a creative vision he intended to explore in the 5th season. Season 4 ended with Veronica leaving Neptune to solve cases while driving across the U.S. That premise reminds me of a Natasha Lyonne-led Poker Face, and it would have been interesting to see how the series would have, delved into that. Thomas choosing to kill off Logan might have gone a bit too far and turned Hulu off from greenlighting season 5. Considering that Veronica Mars was revived twice following its initial cancellation, maybe there will be come a time where Hulu gives it our shot. You know what I think it is? I think it's this. Doing a traveling show would have cost more money. I think that's literally all this comes down to. Like, if you're doing a show, procedural show in one area, Neptune, California, you don't have to travel and get shots in different locations. You have all the little sets set up. It's all ready to go. Maybe you shoot locally, that kind of stuff. You don't have to go to, Utah or, go to Nevada or Texas or Florida. Like, if you're doing a traveling detective, that's going to be a lot of extra cost. So I'm assuming Hulu was like, yeah, we're not looking to spend that much. So that's why we're not doing season 5. That would be my guess. I don't think they would have killed it off just because one of the characters got ended. I really don't. It was a bold choice, I'll say that. Bold choice. Kind of reminds me of, it kind of reminds me of Supernatural, how Sam and Dean kind of traveled the U.S. doing their thing, right? So it would have been kind of similar to that in a way, which I'm assuming would have cost a bit more money. That is my guess. Is that accurate? I don't know. I'm not at Hulu. I'm not a Hulu worker, but that is my summation of it. That would have been kind of interesting, honestly. I think I would have liked seeing like a, she's down on her luck. She just lost her husband. Her whole world was turned upside down. Like, that's a lot to process. And to start just driving and trying to find, work and stuff like that. Like, that is an interesting concept for sure. That would have been quite nice. That's a shame. I don't think we'll ever see it, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and move into the next one. It is Doctor Who, the 14th Doctor, A Million Years. Let's go ahead and pull this up and jump into it, shall we? Here we go. 1 million years.
It's all a bit mad, surely. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well, you look like the doctor to me. What about your face? Why did it come back?
Does there have to be a reason?
Nice.
You're alive? Yes!
Why did I choose this face?
I'm stuck with it now.
It's like I'm trying to tell myself something.
You can do things different this time. So why don't you do something completely new and have some friends?
What happened to the other people who travelled with you?
Some left me. Some got left behind.
What do you do, Doctor? Pick people up, take them with you. You adopt them, use them for reassurance, for company.
And some.
Because you and I can stop this shit.
I put people in danger. Not many, but some died.
But it will kill you.
They're your experiments, just as you and mine.
Why don't you ever share anything with us?
I share stuff.
Not about yourself, though.
Yeah, you know everything about us.
And we know nothing about you.
I'm a billion years old. If I still talked about everyone I'd ever met, we'd still be in the TARDIS and yapping.
So you talk about no one, ever. You just keep charging on.
This is because I'm busy. Right now.
But you are busy every second of every day.
How long can I keep doing this? Finding the old me. To make a new one.
I can't keep on being somebody else.
I know these teeth.
And it's like you're staggering. You are staggering along. Maybe that's why your old face came back. You're wearing yourself out.
I'm so glad you're back, because it killed me, Donna. It killed me, it killed me, it killed me.
Where have you been since I last saw you? What's happened?
You know, the usual. Robots chases waterfalls.
Oh, okay.
I've lived for over 2,000 years.
But what really happened?
And not all of them were good.
A lot.
I owned the stage. Gave it 110%.
I've made many mistakes. Do you want to help me? Do you want to stand here, stamping your foot? Because let me tell you something, I'm 2,000 years old. And I've never had the time for the luxury of outrage. And it's about time that I did something about that.
I could do so much more! So much more!
But this is what I get. My reward.
But it's not fair!
I'm so sick of losing.
It's a beautiful, beautiful scene.
Sick of losing people.
Let me tell you what happened. When the doctor, he was leaving you.
Is that Neil Patrick Harris?
I can't! Why is it always me? Why is it never anybody else's turn?
Watch people burn now, or tomorrow. Sometimes even I can't win.
Can I just lose? Just this once!
I've had 15 years without you, and I saw everything that's happened to you since, and oh my God, it hurt.
Und then there came die Flux.
Division created the flux because you're scared of me.
It destroyed half the universe because of me.
You denied me my life.
I gave you a life.
We stand here now, on the edge of creation, a creation which I devastated. So yes, I keep running, of course I do. How am I supposed to look back on that?
It wasn't your fault.
I know!
I fought in a bigger war than you will ever know. I did worse things than you could ever imagine. And when I close my eyes,
Nice.
I hear more screams than anyone could ever be able to count. And you know what you do with all that pain? Shall I tell you where you put it? You hold it tight. It burns your hand. And you say this: no one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever have to feel this pain. Not on my watch.
One day, the memory of that will hurt so much that I won't be able to breathe. And I'll do what I always do. I'll get in my box and I'll run and I'll run.
In case all the pain ever catches up in every place I go, it will be there.
You okay?
David Tennant is such an unbelievable actor. Very underrated.
When?
A million years.
Our whole lifetime.
Definitely
That doctor
trauma.
that first met the toy maker never, ever stopped. Put on trial, exiled, key to time, all the devastation of Logopolis. Adric.
You're saying you need to stop?
River Song. All the people we lost. Sarah Jane has gone. Can you believe that for a second? I loved her.
Because I've worked out what happened.
I loved her. And Rose. But the Time War, Pandorica, Mavic Chen. We fought.
Oh, interesting.
The gods of Ragnarok, and we didn't stop for a second to say, what the hell?
You changed your face. And then you found me. Do you know why?
You're fine. I'm fine because you fix yourself. We're Time Lords. We're doing rehab out of order.
To come home.
Interesting. Great edit. Excellent. Excellent edit. Dang. Link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. Wow. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Dang. That's unbelievable. Wow. That is a lot of trauma, and it's a lot of years to have a lot of trauma as well. That's probably the most shocking aspect of it. I do appreciate the fact that they kind of write that into it. You know, it's not easy. It's not fun. Obviously there's fun along the way, of course, but it is a long, arduous journey that the Doctor is on. And it's not one to be jealous of. Pretty amazing. I'm just adjusting this really quick. There we go. All right, let's pull up some information on the 14th Doctor, shall we? There we go. The 14th Doctor. Sentimental and compassionate, but with a cynical and self-reflective edge, the 14th Doctor embraced the second chance he had in regenerating back into the body of his 10th incarnation, becoming the third Skinny Man iteration after the Metacrisis Doctor. He sought to respond to all the calls of adventure, racing from one adventure to the next as he fought against the idea that he was running on fumes and emotionally exhausted. Going a full 15 hours without stopping to rest, too distracted by the mystery as to why he had regenerated back into a familiar body. I would honestly add that on top of it, and you're definitely going to be a little on edge. After a battle against Dalek constructs in the Dalek Dome and had a crash landing on Skaro, and I'm mispronouncing everything, so, don't take that too hard. During the genesis of the Daleks, the Doctor found himself reunited with his old companion, Donna, whose memories of the Doctor had been erased by the 10th Doctor at the end of their travels together in order to save her life. On the same night, the Meep was on the run from the Wrath Warriors, and only the release of the Dr. Donna from Donna's subconscious mind managed to save the day. But Donna was saved from having her mind overload when it was revealed that her daughter, Rose, had inherited the human Time Lord Metacrisis, and she and Donna were able to release the Metacrisis. Interesting. However, upon arriving back in London and finding its people driven mad by his old enemy, the Toymaker, who apparently was played by Neil Patrick Harris in the most recent iteration, the Doctor's trauma was brought back to the forefront. Toymaker ended up shooting the Doctor with a galvanic beam, which triggered a bi-generation that split the Doctor, with the 15th Doctor teaming up with his 14th incarnation to banish the Toymaker. Spurred on by Donna and his 15th incarnation, the Doctor decided to settle down on Earth with the noble family to rehab out of order and allow himself to heal to ensure his next incarnation would have his carefree attitude. Interesting. Huh. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. It's kind of interesting that they would have two different doctors at one time, or a split, I guess you could say. All right, bi-generation was an extremely rare variant of regeneration, which the Doctor believed to be a myth until the 15th incarnation bi-generated from the 14th Doctor. Instead of one incarnation of a Time Lord or Time Lady, directly changing into the next as seen with the usual regeneration process, bi-generation instead causes the new incarnation to split from the previous, allowing both to exist simultaneously. While playing with the Toymaker, who could alter physical reality to his whims, the 14th Doctor bi-generated after being gravely wounded by a galvanic beam fired at him by the Toymaker to initiate a regeneration. As a result, he continued to exist as an incarnation distinct from the newly created 15th Doctor, who was still from his personal future. The process was assisted by Donna and Melanie, who each grabbed and pulled the Doctor's arms to separate the two, who both retained all their memories and caused the garments that the Doctor had on when the process occurred to separate randomly between the two of them, leaving both partially clothed. The 15th Doctor also benefited from the time the 14th Doctor would go on to spend on Earth with the noble family, remarking they had done rehab out of order. 15th Doctor later stated the process felt like he was tore his soul in half and feared he wouldn't be able to survive that again. Boy. Pretty wild. There was only 3 episodes of the 14th Doctor. It almost seemed like they were doing like a handoff in a way. Like it was a very smart way to hand off the show to another Doctor. I don't know if apparently they hadn't done that before or something. I don't know. Interesting. Bi-generation has the unique effect of allowing new incarnations to benefit from any experiences and knowledge their predecessors are yet to experience or learn themselves. That's very interesting to have them both. You almost, you almost get to learn things from the other one in a weird way. It was over the 60th anniversary. Oh, that makes sense. Go big or go home, right? Uh-oh. Did I get this link incorrectly? I probably did. Let me try this again. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Ah, there we go. Exploring the Doctor's troubled past as revealed in The Giggle. The Doctor has seen the best and the worst of the universe, but what circumstances led the 14th Doctor to retire to Earth when the very notion of taking a break had previously terrified the Doctor? The 15th Doctor cites the heavy weight of responsibility. Thus explains every reference you heard. Oh, yeah, that's right. Loss of loved ones, weariness, and a lack of time to reflect as possible causes. Quote, the Doctor that first met the Toymaker never ever stopped, put on trial, exiled key to time, and the devastation of Legopolis, Adric, Riversong, all the people he lost. Sarah Jane has gone. Can you not believe that for a second? And Rose, but the Time War, Pandorica, Mavic Chen, we fought the gods of Ragnarok, and we didn't stop for a second to say, what the hell? Put on trial the war games. Near the beginning of the Doctor's adventures, the second Doctor battled an alien group called the Warlords, and a renegade Time Lord known as the War Chief, who was creating an army of brainwashed soldiers displaced from their own times. The Doctor dispatched them, but needed the Time Lord's help to get the soldiers back home. But the Doctor was a renegade himself, found guilty of stealing a TARDIS and breaking the laws of non-interference. He was exiled to 20th century Earth and forced to change appearance. During the sixth incarnation, he was also put on trial, accused of crimes he didn't commit, but that's another story. Exiled. Trapped on Earth, but rocking a stylish bouffant and scuttling about in a vintage yellow car, the third Doctor spent his time working for UNIT and adventuring with his companions Liz and Joe. Together they battled Autons, Silurians, Sea Devils, Daleks. It wasn't until the Time Lords needed the Doctor's help defeating Omega that they ended his exile and restored his knowledge of flying the TARDIS. That's right. To keep the Doctor on Earth, the Time Lords just made him forget how to fly the TARDIS. Simple yet effective. Well, that would work, I suppose. That's funny. That is very funny. Key to Time, season 16. The fourth Doctor, having recently parted with companion Leela, was sent on a quest by the White Guardian to find the 6 pieces of the Key of Time before the Black Guardian could get his hands on it. Key held incredible power and could prove an immensely destructive force in the wrong hands. To aid him, the White Guardian also sent the Doctor a new companion, Romana. Traveling across the universe from the planets Rebos to Zeos, maybe, squeezing in a trip to Earth along the way, the pair managed to gather all the pieces of the key. They then almost handed it over to the Black Guardian, who was masquerading as the White. Interesting. Thankfully, the Doctor saw through the enemy's cunning disguise and redispersed the key throughout the universe, making the Black Guardian an enemy for life. If the toy maker is to be believed, both Guardians are now living as voodoo dolls. All the devastation of Legopolis. In his final adventure, the fourth Doctor headed to the planet at the behest of the Watcher, mysterious figure clad in white. There, he and his companion, Adric, and new companions Tegan and Nyssa, met the... I'm not even going to try it. Who used charged vacuum embodiment, CVE, to prevent the destruction of the universe. The devious master shut off the CVE to hold the universe to ransom, wiping out a massive chunk of the universe, including Nyssa's home planet, Traken. The Doctor's fight with the Master led to a final showdown on Earth. After foiling the Master's plot to take over the universe, the Doctor fell hundreds of feet from an antenna. With the Watcher and his companions at his side, he regenerated into a new body. Adric, precocious teen from the planet Alzarius, Adric was a companion of the fourth and fifth Doctors. What he lacked in life experience, he made up for in technical knowledge and curiosity. He died attempting to gain control of a freighter on a collision course with 26th century Earth, but not before successfully sending the ship back 65 million years, saving humanity, and causing the extinction of the dinosaurs. Oh my gosh, that's a funny way to explain that. The death of Adric affected the Doctor deeply and could be considered one of the greatest losses. River Song, of course. First encounter between Doctor and River Song occurs in the universe's largest library, where River sacrifices her life to rescue those saved by the computer. In doing so, she hints at a profound connection with the Doctor that he is yet to experience. Spoilers. However, the nature of time travel means this isn't the last time the Doctor meets River, bumping into her time and time again, even marrying. Hello. I was 7-8 when Adric died. Me and my little brother cried so much. When I saw it, I wasn't alive when it first aired. That's awesome. That's really cool. You know, that tells you that, it was, it's kind of amazing how movies, TV shows can have as deep of an emotional impact as they do. Obviously we're very aware it's all make-believe. It's written, it's acted, all that stuff. But when put together and properly acted and properly edited and all that stuff. It is so incredible how we're able to suspend that disbelief, believe in the story, believe in the characters, and to have it affect us so much emotionally, mentally, whatever. I'm sure you've had this where you finished a show, saw the season or the series finale, the conclusion of the show, maybe multiple seasons, maybe one season, and you just had that moment of like, oh, it's over. And then you just sit there in that moment of like, oh no, I'll never get to experience a new episode of this again. Or, I'll never get to experience seeing it for the first time ever again. Like it's amazing how much shows can affect us like that. With her trust diary, River was often steps or years ahead of him until she met the Doctor's 12th incarnation for their final date. Every meeting was a joyride tinted with sadness, as it would be the Doctor ultimately knowing River's fate. 12th Doctor kept River's picture on his desk, while the 13th listed her among the greatest people she'd ever known. Sarah Jane has gone. One of the Doctor's closest friends, having first met the third Doctor when she stowed away on the TARDIS, impressing the Doctor with her keen wit and intelligence, she stayed with him even after his next regeneration, until the Time Lords ordered him back to Gallifrey, and he was forced to take her home to South Croydon, or leaving her in Aberdeen by accident. Many years later, the Doctor sent Sarah Jane Smith a gift, a robot dog called Canine. With her new pet by her side, Sarah Jane continued to protect the Earth from alien invaders. Eventually, she moved to Ealing, I think, where she befriended Maria, Clyde, and Ronnie, and adopted Luke and Skye as her children. With the help of supercomputer Mr. Smith, Sarah Jane and her team thwarted the plans of some of the most diabolical rogues in the universe. Also went on further adventures with the 12th and 11th Doctors. She had met 7 of the Doctor's incarnations in total. Wow. When the news came that she passed away, it was deeply affecting. But when one is in the possession of a time machine, is there truly such a thing as goodbye? That's good point. And Rose. From the moment the Ninth Doctor grabbed her hand and told her to run, the Doctor and Rose Tyler transformed each other's lives. He showed her the beauty of the universe while rediscovering himself through her eyes. She reinvigorated him, helped the lonely god be the Doctor once again. So when Rose became trapped in a parallel world after saving the world from an army of ghosts, the 10th Doctor truly mourned her loss. Interesting. Rose was tasked with looking after him to make him better, as she had done once before. Rose's gift was a Doctor that would grow old with her, but the original 10th Doctor was once again left alone. The Time War, Pandorica. Last Great Time War was perhaps the most destructive event in the Doctor's life. For the first time, they rejected their given name and took arms to prevent the Daleks and the Time Lords from destroying time itself. To end the war, the Doctor had no choice but to use an ancient weapon, the Moment, wiping out not only the Daleks, but also the Time Lords and their home planet. Resulting trauma would define the Doctor for thousands of years, leaving them as the last of the Time Lords. However, later in their timeline, the Doctors, yes, 13 of them, managed to seal Gallifrey in a pocket universe at the moment the war ended, saving the Time Lords. From here, the Time Lords sent out a message through cracks in time. Doctor Who? If the Doctor were to reveal their true name in answer to the question, the Time Lords would know it was safe to return. However, a rebellious faction organization in the universe, the Church of Silence, dedicated itself to making sure the Doctor would never answer. Lest the Time Lords' return began the war anew. Mavic Chen. When the actress Elizabeth Sladen passed, they felt it right. Character would as well. Interesting. Sarah Jane has a spin-off, The Sarah Jane Adventures. Wow, how'd that do? 2020, with the world stopped. Oh, gosh. It's crazy how that happened, and we just moved on. So many characters and companions came together to make an audio story for the funeral of Sarah Jane. That's very nice. That's very, very nice. Very interesting. Wraps up everything the 15th Doctor mentioned, but it barely scratches the surface of the Doctor's adventures. There's still plenty more time. Yeah, there's a lot. It's been on for quite some time. And it probably will be on for quite some time to come, which is pretty amazing. If you're a fan of Doctor Who, I know just based off comments, a lot of you had been watching literally your entire life, which is so cool, especially if you were around for the first season. Like, that is just, that's longevity that not many of us have experienced. The only other thing I can think that compares to it is like soap dramas. Like, some of those have been around for a long time, or just sports teams. Sports teams. That's the only two things I can really think of that have been around for that much longer. First episode aired the day JFK was shot. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Wow. That's a long time ago. That was 1963, right? Something like that? 63? No, might have been 64. Can't remember exactly. I think it was 64. Don't quote me. Something like that. Yeah, that's a long time ago. And the fact that, some of you were able to literally watch it from the beginning. And of course, nowadays we can just go back and watch it through. But there's a difference, When you watch a show when it's actually on, you get that kind of connection. You get that time connection. Like, it feels like an investment. I've binged shows that have been out and they're long past. One that comes to mind is Penny Dreadful. I watched it after that show was aired. I had never heard anything of it. I watched it in October because I was like, ooh, this is kind of like a spooky kind of show that would be interesting in October, for Halloween and whatnot. This was years after it aired. And I was just like, dang, this is great. I wish I would have watched it when it was live or when it was airing, because it just feels different. I don't know if you know that, or not know that, but I don't know if you feel that as well, where there's just a connection you have with something if you're watching it while it's airing. Like, it just feels like you're in it, like you're part of something. And when you binge watch it on Netflix or something like that after the fact, you don't get that same connection. You just kind of absorb the story and there you go. Like, there's like a commitment to it. Like, I'm going to be available Thursday at 9 p.m. to watch this show. And then you do it every Thursday. If it's airing on television, or maybe it releases once a week on a streaming platform, there's like a time commitment. You make it and it becomes part of your life. I don't know. There's something beautiful about that we're kind of missing when Netflix just dumps, or whatever streaming service just dumps an entire season out. And you're just like, well, that was done. I watched it in, one day. When's the next? I don't know. It just doesn't seem to hit like it usually does. It's probably why everyone's The Doctor is the one they first watched. Yeah, absolutely. When they were a kid. 100%. You check in with friends. Have you seen it yet? Etc. It's different for sure. Yeah, I fully believe this. It feels different. It feels like part of your life more. I don't know why. It just does. Like, I remember vividly watching Mad Men. And during Mad Men, they had that writer's strike of like 2000 whatever. And it took a year and a half, maybe 2 years between season like 5 and 6 or something. And I just remember in the moment going, oh, you need it. You want it. You want the next season, but you had to wait for it. And there was just like this build up, this anticipation. And you just don't get that when you get it just dumped as like one season. Here you go. Or like 4 episodes, half of a season. There you go. You just don't get it. Like, there's some beauty in having to wait a week to see the next episode. And I know we're losing that, unfortunately, but I don't know. There's something nice about it. Like, you get that build-up, that anticipation. You get to talk with your friends about it. You get to talk with family members, whoever is watching this show with you. You know, I bring it up a lot, but Game of Thrones was like the last big cultural, you know, we're all watching this. We're all talking about it all week long. Just what's going to happen? What's going to happen next? Oh my God, did you see the Red Wedding? Wasn't that crazy? Like, there was just this connection to it that will never happen on one of these streaming services that just dumps a season on you. Never. Like, yes, they become like viral and whatnot. You know, the top show on whatever streaming service is going to be talked about, but it's more of like an overarching, like, you know, general discussion. It's not like the nitty gritty of like each week a little bit more gets released. It's sad. That's why I like the Thai shows and the Thai BL section on the Discord. It's weekly Losing Our Minds. See, I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe people don't. You know, maybe that's why it's going the other direction. But I don't know. There's something to be said about the anticipation, the discussing it with others, all that stuff. Like, a week is not a long time to wait. Like, it's not. I know it feels long when we're waiting for a show to be released or air, but it's not that long. And it gives you a little bit of time to think about it, you know, and desire it. And you're just waiting. It's Wednesday. We're one day away. We're going to make it. It's under 24 hours. Like, it's just, there's something about it that's just nice. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is Sunako Nakahara, Sweet but Psycho. Oh, gosh. I don't know what to expect from this, honestly. I really don't. Sweet but Psycho. It sounds like a memoir of some kind, like an autobiography. No clue what this is, but intrigued. Indeed. I wonder, you know what? Let me just hit play on this real quick. Oh, I can see it here. Doesn't look like I'll need closed captioning. Maybe. We'll see.
It happened 2 years ago.
Nope. Don't need closed captioning.
I wish I could burn it from my memory.
I've always had a big crush on you. Since my first year, actually.
Listen, kid. I hate ugly girls.
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Hold up. Is this a student-teacher situation? Is that what's happening? Oh, boy. His response is wild.
Kid, I hate ugly girls.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. She'll make you curse, but she a blessing. She'll rip your shirt within a second. You'll be coming back for seconds with your play. You just can't help it.
Oh,
You'll
boy.
play along, let her lead you on. You'll be saying no, then saying yes, 'cause you're messing with your head. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, my mind. Grab a cop gun, kinda crazy. She's poison but tasty. Yeah, people say run, don't walk away. Yeah, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, my mind. So someone said, don't drink her potions. She'll kiss your neck with no emotion. When she's
Kind of reminds me of the Good Witch.
you know you love it. 'Cause she tastes so sweet. Don't poison but tasty. Yeah, people say run, don't walk away. She's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, my mind. You're just like me, you're out your mind. I know it's strange.
This might be the most accurate title I've ever seen of a video. And the most accurate song to pick for it. This is a fever dream. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Whoa. Absolute whoa. What? We have got to look up some information on Sunako Nakahara. That was unbelievable. Oh my, that was fun. Sweet but psycho. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Link down below in the video description on YouTube for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. I am liking that video right now. Done. That was well put together. All right. Sunako is the main female protagonist after being cruelly rejected by her middle school crush. She began to lock herself away in a room and chose to avoid people. She's a lover of solitude, gory movies, murder, anatomical dolls, and objects that reflect the ugly side of life, as she puts it. Her interest resulted in her distorted view of reality, and isolation contributed to her low self-esteem. That and being called ugly, I'm assuming. Like, that was brutal. Like, there's ways to softly negotiate that, but good Lord, that dude chose violence. Whew. She's 15. Okay. I love how the blood type is listed. Tall, beautiful, fair-skinned young woman with high waist height, whatever. You can see it. We don't need to see appearance. We get to personality. Here we go. Very self-conscious. She has a fairly bad self-image of herself, frequently calls herself ugly, and never acknowledges herself as a beautiful person. Most of the time, she can be found in dark spaces or areas that are believed to be haunted. Oh my gosh. At the same time, the author shows that Sunako also has very strong convictions. This ranges anywhere from defending her fellow characters to refusing to do anything she dislikes, such as making a collage of pineapples on her wall. However, it is frequently shown in both the anime and the manga that Sunako has no problem compromising some values in order to further her own ends. Fascination with all things dark and morbid resembles that of the series' original creator, albeit in a more extreme form. Okay. Creator's a little dark too, Constant theme of her personality is her view of beautiful and ugly people. She sees herself as ugly, while viewing characters such as Takano and Noi as incredibly beautiful. Sunako's belief appears to be that while beautiful people can become ugly, ugly people can never become beautiful. In the manga, Sunako often reacts violently to the presence of beauty, believing that ugly people such as her should stay in the darkness. Oh my gosh, this is so dark. Literally. However, the problem with Sunako's retreat from the world is that it limits her capacity for life, as well as keeping her from objectively viewing all that is around her. It can be suggested that Sunako adopting such a stark viewpoint on ugly and beautiful people, she has become exactly the type of person she despises. Interesting. Surprisingly, she's an excellent cook and also very athletic, intelligent, skilled pianist. However, Sunako often changes, becoming ugly with dry, cracked skin, pimples. What? In her chibi form. I don't even know what that is. She refers to beautiful people as creatures of light and ugly people, such as herself, as creatures of darkness. That's what they say, a face built for radio. Whenever she sees a creature of light, she gets nosebleeds, which are especially severe when she sees Kyohei, something like that. Despite her negative attitude, that's pretty negative. Once she is driven to do something, is quite capable of doing things that no one expects her to accomplish. Also extremely loyal to her friends. Wait a minute. If you're her friend, does that mean you're ugly? Or she thinks you're ugly? Because she can't be around people of lightness or people of light, creatures of light. So yeah, if you're her friend, doesn't that mean she thinks you're ugly? That's not good. Cares deeply about her housemates, going so far as to trying to kill anyone who messes with them, despite the fact that she tried to kill Kyohei many times herself. She has 3 friends, a skeleton named Josephine, 2 anatomical figures. While she suffers from severe low self-esteem, she's actually a very beautiful and frighteningly tough fighter, able to lift someone twice her own size with one hand. Whoa. She's seen confessing her love to a faceless classmate, often only to have him rebuff her cruelly, stating he hates ugly girls. Since then, Sunako has thrown off any scraps of femininity she might have possessed, believing that it's a waste of time, although throughout the series so far, Sunako has held onto the belief that she is ugly and is a creature of the darkness. Auntie, fearing that Sanako's unladylike ways are not only limiting herself in life but also in love, bribes 4 young men with a promise of free rent. Actually, in today's world, I could see it. Somebody offering you free rent to try to, do a makeover on someone? Interesting. Midnight, I have an early start. This character's fascinating. Very much so. Very much so. Complicated, indeed. Appreciate it, Jace. Have a good one. For most of the manga and anime, Sanako's time is spent both avoiding yet caring for those young men, as it is shown that they are almost completely incapable of performing everyday housework. As the story progresses, Sunako begins to recognize beauty in the world around her, even remarking that roses are pretty. So far in the manga, her backstory is yet to be fully revealed. Oh, so it's still a secret. That's nice. Interesting. Very interesting. Good cook, loves chocolate. Throughout the anime, Sunako is mostly seen in her miniature form. Oh, that miniature form that we saw? Gotcha. According to Chapter 2, Sanako's skin is actually very sensitive to products. Good to know. When she sees beautiful people, she gets nosebleeds. That's got to be quite the confidence booster. She sees you and just immediately blood starts gushing out. You're like, yes, I am beautiful. Not skilled at math? Me neither, honestly. Good at fighting, though. Oh my gosh. After she got rejected brutally, she secluded herself for 2 years. Dang, that's a long time. Sunako saw Kyohei naked after walking in on him in the bathroom. Whoa. They accidentally kissed while playing ping pong. How does that happen? What? That must have been an interesting time. The Wallflower is the manga. Series ended in January 2015. Okay, they did a 25-episode anime series. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can find any more information out here. Sanako's aunt, the owner of a huge mansion where four very handsome high school students live for free, demands the boys to transform her niece into the perfect lady. It's kind of weird that she chose boys to do that. That's kind of odd. In return, they will be able to continue living there for free. Honestly, a good deal. Hey, rent is high. I know it. And it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. Yet, the apartments aren't getting better. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, like, smart features. Like, the blinds are still manual. Like, as much as we're paying in rent, the blinds could be automatic. Just press a button or something. Like, come on now. Let's at least get something out of our money, right? They're given a deadline, and if they're unable to uphold their deal, then they would have to either pay a lump sum of cash or vacate the premises. Well, I would definitely vacate the premises. Lump sum of cash. Come on now. What is this, the lottery? While four of them managed to make Sunako physically beautiful enough to become a lady, how do they do that? The problem lies with her attitude and interests, which Sunako has no intention of changing. Up until the most recent release in the story, they managed to convince Sanako's aunt that her niece is indeed a lady befitting the mansion in which they live, and prevent the rent from skyrocketing to triple the required amount. Ugh. However, in reality, Sunako has not changed at all. Has a tendency to spurt out in a nosebleed when seen by bright creatures. Humorous tale. Humorous. Boy, that's a lot of blood for humorous. Following Sunako and the four boys through unusual and ridiculous situations where Sanako's confronted with many unwanted experiences of being a lady, while also channeling the idea of self and beauty. What an interesting concept. So there's only 10 episodes. Oh. Concerns of racism have been raised concerning the two characters who ring the gong. They're darker skinned than the rest of the characters and dressed only in loincloths. Interesting. It inspired a fashion line in 2008 New York Fashion Week. Interesting. Huh. I guess you can get inspiration from anywhere, honestly. Why we can never get enough of the Wallflower. Feels remarkably similar to Paradise Kiss many ways, right down to them both being untraditional shoujo manga, the two having a solid emphasis on representing and exploring fantastic fashion. It's all to provide us some visual stimulation, but it's also important to the characters. There's so much more to it, and arguably more so with the Wallflower. Wallflower spawned not only an anime adaptation that was enjoyable in its own right, but also a live-action adaptation that rivals its own source material, which most definitely beats Paradise Kiss's live-action movie. Interesting. I had no idea there was a live-action. I felt off discussing it for quite some time simply because I felt that it wouldn't do it justice, but at the same time, I also feel it's nowhere nearly as highly regarded as it deserves to be. Pulls no punches. Originally ran from 2000 to 2015, took a gothic punk motif and applies them to a modernized My Fair Lady storyline. Its main character is a teenager who once professed her love to her crush, but in response, he said, quote, "I hate ugly girls." I mean, that is so brutal. Good grief. Unsurprisingly, Sunako plummets in self-confidence as a result. Yeah, that stings. That stings bad. I've never been rejected that bad, but that's, we all go through rejection. Some of it hurts. Some of it sticks with you, but I don't know if anybody that got rejected that bad. That's crazy. And if you have, I'm sure that stuck with you quite a while. She ends up hiding her face behind her long black bangs, giving her the Ring vibe. Oh my gosh. If you've ever seen that movie, yeah, it's just a figure with black hair that covers their face. She talks almost exclusively to her skeleton model companions. She has a phobia of attractive people. She's pretty much a hermit. She continually puts herself down, no drive to change herself. Meanwhile, the other characters are specifically tasked with trying to change her. Interestingly enough, that's probably a commentary on society, frankly. 4 boys that we talked about earlier, of varied attitudes and temperaments, as you might expect for a reverse harem. There are some parallels that can be drawn between them when their backgrounds are explored in more depth, but they can all initially be summed up in a word or so. Playboy, the intelligent and stoic, the childish, and its main boy, the British and mouthy one, or brutish, brutish and mouthy one, who has the biggest risk riding on the deal since he's unable to hold down a job. The stakes are highest when Kyohei, not just because of his living situation, but also because of a prevailing sense of will they, won't they, with regard to his relationship. The progression of the Wallflower story is almost completely episodic, feels like it's following a template more often than not, with much of the slapstick and comedy deriving from Sunako's unusual behavior, plays out very much like the best rom-coms, with the suitors having to learn to accept her for who she is, with each one of them having their own clashing personalities and conflicting interests. Cool. The result is a slow burn of a plot with realistic character development over a natural feeling course of time. If you're not a fan of slow burns, stay away, I guess. And what initially appears to be a reverse harem premise is also subverted, since the boys aren't competing for her. They sure have a slow growing sense of camaraderie between them, but this is due to them having to overcome their seemingly incompatibility with one another. Punk motif, atypical progression. Yeah, I would say so. Definitely punk, for sure. Sunako is a nutcase in the best way possible. With her love for the darkest of comedies, always becoming an issue for the cast and providing the bulk of the humor for the audience, even if it's at extreme as her threatening to seriously end beautiful people. It's primarily a dark comedy with romantic plot lines, which is such an interesting thing. You very rarely see dark comedy rom-coms. It's usually light, lovey-dovey kind of stuff. And the comedy is as dark as the genre goes. It's very juvenile, with crude humor that even tries to play up scenarios involving contemplating ending oneself and even attempted forcing oneself on somebody else, which are the only tone-deaf moments of the product in question. It's unquestionably eccentric, and despite all the complaints from over the years about its art style, humor, and slow character progression, at its very core, its heartfelt messages remain important to anyone that feels critical of themselves and fails to see their own worth. A prevailing message of being true to yourself and the fact that you deserve love. People aren't their faces, it's what's inside them that counts. The manga originally drew criticism for how seemingly lacking its character's development is. But that's exactly where the series shines. It's subtle. Gradually changes bit by bit, but even then, she stays true to herself and never fully accepts becoming the fair lady that her aunt is trying to make her be. Interesting. The boys do not all stay in long-lasting romantic relationships, and it's satisfying to see because their characters ultimately find closure and comfort from the friendships that they made as they progress through their own personal journey. Wallflower's message is clear, loud, and confident. Love yourself, even with all your own faults and weaknesses, and understand that everyone deserves to be loved in return. Find comfort in having a supportive circle, but improve yourself for the better of your own volition rather than feeling forced to do so. Nothing changes instantly. That is exactly what growing up is all about. Boy, is that amen. Amen to that. Yeah, time, some things, take a lot of time. And it just is what it is. It's a steady process, and no one is doing that incorrectly. Indeed. Indeed. Well said. Yes, there are. Boy, I remember growing up and, I hit that stage of voice cracking constantly. Like voices dropping, that kind of thing. Oh, I would just hate it. Hate it. I was like, why do I have to go through this? Why can't I just, be older and not have to deal with this as much? Life doesn't work like that. It just is what it is. There is the awkward phase. It happens to us all. We all go through it. And it does make you stronger. I will say that. Definitely tests your resolve. If you happen to be a newcomer to the Wallflower, then welcome. The manga is arguably the best gateway in. 10-episode live-action adaptation is just as good of a starting point. I recommend it over the anime for a much better balance between comedy and heartfelt moments. It also includes a character who is exclusive to the live-action adaptation, Takeru, the brother of Sunako, and he provides some really well-implemented points of further characterization and development between the cast. It's kind of interesting. They went with a new character, a brother, for the live action. That's kind of strange. Interesting. Boy, what a fascinating video. Fever dream. Big time. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's move on to the next one. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. Interesting story. Good messaging. Like really good messaging. Next one is Sweet Home Final. It's Hey Brother. I'm not even going to try the names because I'm going to butcher them, but you'll get to see them here in 2 seconds. Some names are too difficult for me to even attempt. All right, let's jump into this, see what's going on. It's been a while, apparently, but interested to see it. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and move this over slightly so I don't cut off any of the important subtitles. There we go. That should be better. Perfect. We'll start it over.
There's an endless road to be discovered. Hey, sister, know the water's sweet, the blood is thicker.
근데 이은혁은 왜 찾은 거야? 친오빠도 아닌데.
보고 싶으니까 그랬어.
There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do.
안경 그 왜 그래? 줘봐, 떼어줄게.
전 이게 더 좋습니다.
Do you still believe in one another? Hey, sister, do you still believe in love? I wonder.
난 말아도 말하지 마. 네 동생이니까.
피 한 방울 안 섞였어.
진짜 아무것도 못 느껴? 일부러 그러는 거야? 그런 척 하는 거지.
기억은 있는데 감정은 없어. 배우는 건 빠른데 느끼는 건 없고.
난 사람 버리고 가는 게 습관이거든.
걱정하지 마. 무사히 돌아올게.
진짜 너 너무 멀쩡해 보여서 다행이라. 사람 아니어도 상관없어. 배우라고. 기억이 있으면 감정도 배울 수 있어.
내가 얼마나 고민지 얼마나 기다려서 여기까지 왔는데. 오빠! 내 한 번만 나와주면 안 돼? 한 번 나왔잖아.
내가 왜 그래?
오빠가.
아직도 나한테 안 왔어.
자꾸 현실성이 있을 거야. 다가오지 못하겠어.
It's a beautiful video. Wow. Confusing because I don't know the plot yet, or I can't remember the plot. Funny enough. I don't have memories. I do have emotions, though. I will say that. Interesting situation there. I'm assuming he passed, and obviously, hence the just knocked my glasses off. Hence the blood on the face and lack of glasses. Interesting. Yeah, I'm assuming there was some accident or something. And he's got the memories, he just has no emotions attached to him, which would be frustrating if you're in her position. If she's been looking for you and finds you and full of emotions and you're just like stone-faced. Yeah, hey, how's it going? You can't even say it's going good or well. You just go, it's going. Like, dang, that would be so confusing and heartbreaking all at the same time. A link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw out some much-deserved love. Check out the channel. They might have other videos that might interest you as well. All right, let's pull up some information on Sweet Home. Get a refresher going here. Here we go. 2020 South Korean apocalyptic horror television series. Based on a webtoon, which recorded over 2.1 billion net views. First season was released on Netflix. Second season, 2023, so 3 years later. Wow. Obviously due to the pandemic, of course, delaying things. Final season, third and final, 2024. After an unexpected tragedy, this is the first season synopsis, kills his entire family and leaves him as the only survivor. Cha leaves his family home and relocates into a rundown apartment complex known as Green Home. One night, horrific monsters begin appearing and ravage the city. Yeon-soo and some of his fellow residents band together within the confines of the complex and must fight for their survival against the new otherworldly threat, while others from the apartment turn into monsters based on the things they desire. Yeon-soo starts having monster symptoms and develops the ability to turn into a winged monster whenever he desires. Oh my gosh, I think I remember reading that. Yeah, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me slowly but surely. Like he can like turn it on and turn it off kind of thing. He's got like this interesting hybrid. Boy, it's only 26 episodes, so if you're looking to get into it. All right. So this is the finale, season 3. So this must be where we're kind of witnessing there. The survivors continue to face new threats and challenges as they explore deeper into the characters' backgrounds and the origins of the monsters. Yeon-soo grapples with his monstrous transformation abilities, playing a pivotal role in defending the survivors and uncovering the mysteries behind the monstrous outbreaks. New and more dangerous monster types are introduced, including human-like creatures emerging from cocoons. Interesting. Lee returns as a neo-human, forming an alliance with Yeon-soo. Efforts by governmental and scientific bodies to understand and possibly cure the monstrous transformations continue, adding another layer of intrigue and hope for the characters. Such an interesting storyline. So ultimately, it is surviving monsters, basically. They have no idea what's happening, why it's happening, why people turn into their desires. So Yunsu, clinically depressed high school dropout, moves into Green Home after his family's killed in a car accident, becomes a monster-human hybrid. Unyu's adoptive older brother and a former medical student. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the character. Leading with a composed mind and logical decisions, he becomes the de facto leader of the residents, though many view him as cold and distant. Unyuk's haughty adoptive younger sister, an aspiring ballerina who quit due to an injury on her foot. Okay, so those are the two that we were talking about there. Unyok, I think, is one of the main characters, of course, that we saw. So there's the human form, and then this is the neo-human. Life in his eyes? No life in his eyes, basically. All right, season 3, shown in a new black outfit and haircut. As a neo-human, he has hyper agility, very fast reflexes, immortality by being reborn into a new clone if one of his bodies dies. He also retains every single memory of when he was human and believes that they, referring to neo-humans as a whole, have achieved everything they needed by transcending monsterization. Interesting. On the way to the stadium, coincidentally, they drove past a group of people consisting of Unyuk's younger sister, Unyu. Made eye contact with his sister, but they completely ignored her. See if we can find some more information here. Let's see here. Trying to keep it. Okay. Unyu starts showing symptoms after reliving memories of the first day of the outbreak in the Green Home apartment complexes. It was confronted by an imaginary Unyok. Oh, that's why. Okay. Both Yunsu and Unyok walk back to where they last saw Unyu. Said he was fine. Said he not able to feel any emotions. Yunsu then said he will turn Unyu back into a human if he sees her first. He then reminisces about Unyu, telling him that he has memories, so he should be able to learn emotions again. He then remembers himself crying while looking at his family photo just before he showed symptoms of monsterization. Unyuk tries to imitate his pose in the family photo by putting up a peace sign and unsuccessfully trying to smile. He quickly returns back to his indifferent manner and begins to walk while putting the family photo back into his pocket. This shows that the photo has sentimental value to him, indicating they might still have or redevelop his human emotions. After a while, he reunites with his sister on a rooftop. This time he has a more casual outfit and same haircut as when he was human. Smiles at Unyu. This indicates that neo-humans can possibly regain their human feelings. And then they collectively name this place, this rooftop that they're on, Sweet Home. Okay. Interesting. Unyu. Boy, that's cool. That's really neat. Don't die here. Instead of bothering people by dying here, look somewhere else. Oh my gosh. Boy, some of these quotes are dark, like really dark. No one knows how and when someone will become a monster. Interesting. It's amazing how much better Sweet Home Season 3 was thanks to this one character. Season 3 was much better than the second season thanks to the return of Eun-yeok. One of the most successful K-dramas based on a webtoon, Sweet Home was the first Korean show to enter Netflix's global top 10, quickly secured a 2-season renewal. Most of the source material was covered in the first season, with seasons 2 and 3 telling an original story that combined old and new characters. Cast got bigger. Eun-yeok made Sweet Home 3 much better. Obviously, the smiling photo is kind of iconic here. Season 2's ending revealed that Eun-yeok was alive and had turned into a monster. As such, the return of Do-yeon's character to the show is arguably the most exciting aspect of Sweet Home 3. Fortunately, it did not disappoint. He was the best thing about Sweet Home's final season, stole the show every time he was on screen, despite only appearing in the final 4 episodes of the season. Interesting. Leader of the Green Home survivors, he helped keep things in order and made sure that they would work together to survive the monster apocalypse. Seeing one of the characters who defined the first season back for the grand finale worked very well. Even more so because Eun-yeok had changed a lot. Bringing back characters who were thought to be dead can be anticlimactic. But the return was not a happy one at first, which is probably the best way to play it, honestly. As one of Sweet Home's neo-humans, had memories but not feelings. Highlighted everything wrong with Season 2. The fact that the best Sweet Home Season 3 scenes featured either Eun-yeok or Yoon-soo highlights everything wrong with the second season. Season 2 moved away from some of its protagonists and instead focused on a lot of new characters. While many of these new additions were interesting and contributed to expand the scope of the show, none of them were as compelling as the original Green Home residents. This is why Eun-yeok's role in Season 2 was so important and helped Sweet Home end on a good note. All the interactions between Yoon-soo and Eun-yeok in Season 3 were incredibly exciting, for their fight against each other to their team up at the end. Even though both characters changed a lot, the dynamic between them was still the same. Eun-yeok was calm, smart strategist who would not let his feelings get in the way of the best course of action. Yoon-soo, on the other hand, was the emotive wild card. Sweet Home's new characters were better treated in Season 3. Eun-yeok's return was not the only reason Sweet Home 3 was better than Season 2. The final season still had problems and was arguably not as good as the first one, but it fixed many of the issues Season 2 had. It's interesting. Despite Season 2's problems, Season 3 deserved to end on a high note after such a successful debut. Seasons 2 and 3 are better perceived as one big season, as they were filmed back-to-back and take place. What's up, Nadia? Welcome in. Joined a little late, but you're still here. Still got one video to go. And obviously this will be posted on YouTube, so. Sweet Home was bound to be a very different show once it went beyond its source material. Well, that's true. I mean, yes, at that point, it's very risky as to where the story's going, what it's going to be like. Sounds like from this reviewer that they kind of lost their way in Season 2. Maybe they tried to do something else, go with different characters, kind of expand on it, and maybe it didn't play as well, is what it's sounding like. And then they went back to kind of the big stars at the end, which certainly, yeah, I mean, that's basically the writers going, oops, which is good. It's good to see writers, listen and realize, oh, that wasn't we probably shouldn't have done that kind of thing. It was bound to be very different once it went beyond its source material, and while some things could have done better, the show achieved a satisfying finale, which is ultimately, that is so hard to get these days. We get to see more of Do-Yun's Eun-yuk interacting with Yeon-soo and Eun-yu. Yeah. That's unbelievable. Let's see if I can find the... I wonder if there's a Rotten Tomatoes for this. Let's see. Let's see. No, I'm not looking for Sweet Home Alabama. All right, so the first season. Boy, critics love it. Look at that, 83. Okay. So there you go. Season 1, 86. Season 2, 80. And then season 3, I don't even know if there is a rating on it. Doesn't look like it. So even the critics kind of dipped on season 2, which is interesting. Well, they went back to what worked, I guess, which is a interesting little nod. A little nod from the writers, like, oops. It is what it is. Funny part is, we literally just went over this with, gosh, what was it? It was the Angry Birds movie. So apparently the first one was horrendously bad, according to the audience, according to the critics. And then apparently the second one was just incredible. Like, they made it so much better than the first one, which is so rare. So it's cool to see Sweet Home kind of do one of those trajectories where it goes down and it comes right back up. It's pretty impressive. Maybe they changed out writing staff. Maybe the writing staff just said, you know what? Let's just go back to what worked. Hey, nothing wrong with that. No shame in that, admitting it and whatnot. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the final edit of the day before we kick off the rest of your week. This is Jeremiah and Belly, Let Them Effin' Love. This was posted 2 months ago, made this epic edit before they ruin it all and convince these two that what they had wasn't even real. F that. This is the realest thing I've seen in a long time. I've made so many edits, and finally the girl actually loves the guy back. Well, there you go. That's from the editor themselves. Let's go ahead and bring this up and jump into it. So last time when I reacted, we saw, obviously, Conrad or Connie and Belly. This is the other shoe on the other foot, so to say. All right, let's do it.
I know you think the wedding is a bad idea, but Belly, she is my person, and I'm hers. Does he know how badly I've wanted to take Belly's hand like that?
This is all my fault. I got so excited at the prospect of Belly being with one of my boys. It must have been so hard for you. Seeing her with your brother.
When she looks at me like this, I can almost let myself believe she sees me the way she used to see Conrad.
I spent so much of my life dreaming about what it would be like to be with Conrad.
I think I said this before with the first video, and learning that they were brothers going after the same girl, or the same girl was even entertaining the different brothers. That is so, and I mean this with no disrespect. I don't know how this is going to come off. Small town, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of options. So keeping in the family is totally okay. Like that is, I don't know if anyone else found that out and just immediately cringed or recoiled as much as I did. Maybe you did. Hopefully you did. But yeah, the brothers pining after the same girl that's something I cannot understand or even contemplate. Never been there, never will be there. But yeah, two brothers, indeed, pining after the same girl, being with the same girl.
Dreams aren't real.
We'll get past that, though. We'll get past
My whole life, it's always been Conrad for Belly. Yeah, look at how you're mooning over Conrad. I just want her to be happy.
Getting over your past and moving on in the present, all at the same time.
Maybe.
Hey, look at me.
Maybe for the rest of the story, it could be me.
Look at me. What am I thinking?
I don't know.
You know, you always could read my mind.
Mostly. I mean,
And now I want something real.
you sure?
It's different now.
Are you sure?
Completely.
When my mom died, I felt like I wouldn't be anyone's person again. And in the middle of everything falling apart, Belly picked me. My mom always said that family was the most important thing. She would want this for us. Mom believed family wasn't just about blood. She believed family grew throughout your life. Anyone you loved was family. Anyone who loved you.
Life's too short not to spend it with the person that you love.
Facts.
I'm the one who messed it up.
She's everything to me. But I love you more than anyone else in the world. And losing her feels like... I love you so much. It's always been you, Belly. It feels like I'm losing the best part of myself. That's beautiful, man.
I could barely function.
Belly, I was completely numb that whole week.
Good news is he looks emotionally destroyed.
I don't want to mess this up.
I'm so glad this show has social media in it. It's amazing how many shows try to like etch that out of existence, but social media affects, especially young people, constantly. Interactions, who you meet, you know, if you meet somebody, you look them up on social media, that kind of thing. Like, it is involved. And to ignore social media in television is crazy to me. So I'm glad they incorporate it. It is synonymous with life.
Your brother just almost died. I'm sure that stirred up a lot.
I'm gonna call Jared. I just really scared.
For both of you.
I missed you so much.
I missed you more.
You guys saw each other last week.
It's this hard to say goodbye to you for 5 days. How am I supposed to leave you for 5 months?
No, 5 more. 5 more. You said that us getting married is a little quote-unquote ridiculous.
You're really ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
So ridiculous. I want to be with you always, no matter what.
But we'll never know what your mother would have wanted. Adventure is worthwhile in itself.
Adventure is worthwhile in itself.
The thing you said earlier, did my mom tell you about that?
I saw it on your graduation cap. I wanted to be there for your day. Even if it was, you know, just through my mom's phone.
Though I want to be with Belly for a lifetime. I can commit to that.
Always remember what makes Belly happy.
Happy birthday, Belly. Why don't we take my car and practice driving before we have to pick up Taylor from the bus station?
I always thought I loved this place as much as I possibly could. And now I can't help but think I didn't love it enough.
The future is just crazy.
Oh, what? Say it.
Would you...
Yes.
You don't even know what I'm about to say. I cannot wait to marry you.
I just can't imagine my life without you.
You don't need to hurt yourself to get my attention.
There's
I could quit my internship and we could just spend all summer here.
Hey, don't tease me. How are we supposed to do this without both of our moms?
And I've been the luckiest guy in the world for the last 4 years. I want to be with Belly the rest of my life.
I heard you think we're being ridiculous.
Billy, come on.
I'm coming. I love you.
Why
love
rush
you
to
more.
get married?
Because I love him and because he's my family and
I mean, that's what Susanna always said, right?
Down, I mean, please, why can't you just accept this? Because you are still a child. You don't even know yourself yet. How could you possibly know who you want to be with forever?
Are you serious right now? Yes. Obviously, she's pregnant.
I know who I want, and I'm marrying him.
I want that life to start now.
I wanted him for all seasons, not just summer. I just wanted to be near
I gotta
him.
say, they nail
feels
the romance. Like, there is a lot of romance scenes in there that are just storybook. It's beautiful. It really is. This is a beautiful edit.
It's inevitable.
Watching you make such a stupid mistake is killing me.
I can't guarantee anyone's feelings or promise that no one will get hurt, but the fun in life is figuring out where the rest of the story goes.
My mom, she was the only person who ever really
Indeed.
saw me. Her and Belly.
Whoa. That was beautiful. Well done. Excellent, excellent edit. It is a shame that only has 7,600 views. That deserves like 80,000, 100,000. That is beautifully done. Link down below in the video description for this original video. Go throw out some much deserved love. Check out their channel as well. They might have other amazing edits. Wow. I'll go ahead and throw that link down in the chat for those of you watching live. You know, when you get rid of the two-brother angle, as in this edit, it becomes much more enjoyable to me and less odd. Yeah, I can't. Oh, I think it's weird to me because I have brothers, and the idea of putting myself in that situation or them putting themselves in that situation is just weird and creepy and odd. Like, I can't. I can't. Coming of age romantic drama television show based off the novel trilogy, The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, We'll Always Have Summer. Obviously, you might have recognized some things. It is the same person who wrote To All the Boys I Loved Before. That trilogy you've probably seen. And if you haven't, check out the first one. The next two, First one's good. First one's very good. Teenager involved in a love triangle with brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah. Before its premiere, is renewed for a second season. 11-episode, third and final season premiered literally this year, and a feature-length film was announced on September 17th, so last month. Direct continuation of the series finale, so you got more coming. Belly is about to turn 16, headed to her favorite place in the world, Cousins Beach, to spend the summer with her family and the Fishers. Belly has grown up a lot over the past year, and she has a feeling that this summer is going to be different than all the summers before, because apparently she's turned pretty. There you go. Belly and Jeremiah. Belly, it doesn't matter. Not anymore, Jer. Jer is short for Jeremiah, of course. After your mom died, you and I, we put each other back together. We did that, you and me, and you're part of me. And I don't know where I end and where you begin, and whatever I have left in my heart for Conrad, it doesn't compare to me and you. Jeremiah, you can't marry me to erase him. I don't know how to not love you, even now, and that's the worst part. Belly and Jeremiah call off the wedding. Whatever I have left in my heart for Conrad, your brother, it doesn't compare to me and you. You can't marry me to erase him. Well, yeah, wouldn't he be at the wedding? Wouldn't he be like the best man? Probably not. I'm assuming Jeremiah and Conrad's relationship is strained, putting it mildly, with this going on. That's what I'm interested in. Funny enough, that's more of what I'm interested in, is Okay, Jeremiah had a crush on Belly first. That's what the intimacy level says. Interesting. I'm more interested, honestly, if I'm being completely honest here, I'm more interested in Conrad and Jeremiah and how their brotherly relationship survived this. Like, that is your brother. That is your blood. Getting in between that and jeopardizing that is rough. Really rough. Let's see here. Significant scenes. Belly Summer is made up of many things, mostly made up of Beck's boys, Conrad and Jeremiah. Jeremiah grins at seeing her, then picks her up to spin her around as a greeting. Hello. They go for their first swim of the summer together, and Jeremiah had waited all day for her to arrive so they could go in the ocean together. Jeremiah initiates their secret wall knock, which she returns. He introduces her as his future wife to Paige. Jeremiah, Conrad, and Stephen crash Belly's first date with Cam, angering her. Gives her a driving lesson. Reoccurring themes and symbolism: car rides. Share many important scenes during or around car rides. Interesting. The milk thing. Jeremiah enjoys drinking milk from a bowl after someone has finished their cereal, a trait that he's had since he was a kid. Belly used to give him her bowl when she was done with it, just so he could drink the milk. She continued to do this even in her most recent summer visit, consciously handing him the bowl when she was done with it because he liked it so much. Jeremiah tried to drink from everyone's... That's wild. Though Conrad called it disgusting, telling him he had to stop doing it, Belly never seemed to mind. Of course, the wall knock, apparently. Spinning hugs and twirling. If you didn't know this, there is a lot of Taylor Swift music in here, and apparently a lot of great music as well. Wow, I'm just looking through it right now. A lot of big music. They spend money. They spend money on this soundtrack. Then again, Amazon has a lot of money, right? Jeremiah, you know what? Belly's a good dancer. The waltz is just dumb. Stands up for Belly against the Debs. Belly and Jeremiah talk before their kiss. Jeremiah, you're my best friend. But there are times when I wanted more. Hello. Belly said, why didn't you say anything? Jeremiah said, there was always Conrad. In this summer, it was Cam. I guess I was just waiting. Belly, for me? Jeremiah, do you think you could ever? Belly said, yes. And then, Kith. Belly before kissing Jeremiah. Susanna told me that I was... Wait, what? Susanna told me that I was when I was born. She knew I was destined for one of her boys. I always hoped it would be Conrad, but here I am about to kiss Jeremiah. Settling for the other brother, huh? Thank you for coming to get me. Jeremiah said, Belly, I'll always come and get you. Laying it on thick. All right. The Summer I Turned Pretty, Season 3, all the differences between the book and the show. The final season of the Prime Video series includes major deviations. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what these major deviations are. Season 2 brought more deviations from the book. Way more of Steven and Taylor in the story. Along with bringing back Cam Cameron when he didn't return in the second book at all. Wow. Additionally, Season 2 of The Summer I Turned Pretty suggested that Belly and Conrad got it on at the summer house during their winter visit, when in the book, they did not. Summer I Turned Pretty, Season 3, differences between the book and show are huge. For starters, the main plot of the story is starting during the summer before Belly's senior year of college. In the book, Belly was 19. Episode 1 also implied that intimacy was part of Belly and Jeremiah's relationship, but in the book, it was not. Additionally, viewers learned that Belly was forced to quit playing volleyball due to an injury, which led to her sports psychology major. The Amazon Prime series also featured Steven working for Jeremiah and Conrad's dad, Adam, at his bank firm, where viewers met a new character named Denise. Meanwhile, Taylor dated a guy named Davis, but was hooking up with Steven at the beginning of the season, as Steven cheated on a girl named Mia to be with Taylor. Whoa. Messy. Also in Season 3, Belly snagged a spot to study abroad in Paris for her senior year, when this wasn't a plot point in the book. Jeremiah found out he couldn't graduate and needed to take more classes in the fall. Conrad, meanwhile, got a summer clinic job, although he was fired from his summer clinic job after mislabeling something, a plot point that did not exist in the book. In the second episode, Belly's mom, Laurel, attended a literary conference where she ran into Belly's dad, John, and they ended up sleeping together at a hotel. Steven broke up with Mia and told Taylor he loved her while driving, but she got mad, stormed out of the car in the middle of the road, and then Steven got into a car accident. That didn't happen in the book at all. Jeremiah proposed to Belly outside the hospital without a ring before proposing for a second time in his frat house room with a ring. That is not how it went down in the books. In the show, the entire storyline with Taylor's mom and her salon business going under after she allowed her ex to handle the business stuff doesn't exist. Wow. Belly's decision to move to Paris after calling off the wedding with Jeremiah, this didn't happen in the book. Instead, she studied abroad in Spain. The show introduced a ton of new characters in the last 3 episodes too, including her roommates in Paris and a guy named Benito, with whom she became romantically involved. Interesting. At the end, it was unclear whether Belly and Conrad were married, but it was clear that they chose each other and were together for the long haul. And just for the fun of it, let's get some talking points. Let's get you talking in the comments. What if Jeremiah is Belly's endgame in the show? Hear me out. Belly has actually become irredeemable. Conrad really bettered himself without her. At this point, it's hard to want Bonrad, I'm assuming that's the name of the pairing, when Belly is so awful, I just want a happy ending for Conrad. Interesting. So this person, in wanting a happy ending for Conrad, wants Belly to be with Jeremiah. What's your take on that? Do you think that's accurate? I just want Conrad to have his happy ending, and for him, this means being with Belly. And I know Belly this season is insufferable to watch. Dang, does everybody hate Belly? What's going on here? But Conrad's been longing for this for so long. In my opinion, this whole show has been about their love story, and I want it to end with them finding their way back to each other. He's been holding on to that love quietly for years, and he deserves to have it fully returned. Dude, I love Conrad so much. Somebody posted him looking, just staring, glancing at Belly. Belly's just, I don't know, looking at something else. Belly is not irredeemable. Conrad has done hurtful things to her too, telling her repeatedly that he doesn't want her and pushing her away, messing with her head. Her character growth is just happening later, partially because she's younger than he is and is being influenced by Jeremiah. I think people tend to be too harsh on female leads while more forgiving of the love interests. Somebody said Jeremiah is not irredeemable either. He's just not right for Belly. They're codependent and would probably grow a lot without each other. Somebody said they hinder each other's further development while Conrad and Belly complement each other. Somebody said Jer is not right for her, as we are beginning to see more and more, but I want him to have a great arc. Jenny obviously wants that too, since she's made the series all about him. I'm Team Conrad, but I mean irredeemable in the sense that she's been with Conrad's brother for 4 years. Like, that's so weird. The transition's going to be rough. Yeah, that is weird. That is weird to go from brother to brother. That is, yeah, absolutely. Oh, fair, that would be uncomfortable AF. Yes, it would. If this was real life, this would be very uncomfortable. Belly's supposed to be awful right now. I need people to chill out. And then this one, Belly and Jeremiah flashbacks. Belly keeps mentioning that she and Jer were childhood best friends, but in the flashback scenes, it is clear that he doesn't pay attention to her. Connie is always the one she interacts with. They had one scene together when Susanna begged Jer to stay home with her. So overall, why does Belly think they're best friends? Somebody said, I've also noticed this, especially because in the season 2 flashback, Conrad was the one who ditched chess to help Belly with dancing. And he always looked out for her. Meanwhile, Jeremiah only started to care about Belly when she, quote, got pretty. Somebody said, I believe that they're best friends, but I read the book. Honestly, I thought her descriptions about how well they know each other was sweet, and their whole mind-reading thing. I really loved their friendship in the books and understand how it led them to date. The relationship is so different in the books and much better. Somebody said it's all in the books. Pretty much all the flashbacks of their friendship growing up from the books were cut from the show. Some even given to Conrad instead. Whoa. That's weird. So the showrunner really wanted Conrad to be Endgame, basically. That's so strange. That's so strange that they would handpick, who they want to go and just completely cut them from the show. So it seems like if you read the book, you had a totally different experience. This person said, first of all, I'm on Team Jeremiah, not Jelly exclusively, but we definitely, without a doubt, know that Jer and Belly have always been best friends. The beauty is that we don't need flashbacks to define the relationship because their friendship blossoms organically. Belly is often narrating it should be weird, but it's not because it's Jeremiah. He takes care of her, is supportive, builds her up, always there for her in her time of need. So yeah, the show is obviously biased because of the end game. It has always been their story. That's why we never get flashbacks for them, but honestly, they don't need flashbacks because their friendship is natural, organic, and beautiful in a subtle way. Why was that downvoted? 13 times to the point where I had to find it. I had to show it. That's crazy. Season 3, Episode 5, bike scene. Come on, Conrad, let's just go. She's too slow. Why have enemies when you have friends like this? And then somebody responded, Jer was the one who rode bikes with her in the books. This was changed for the show. Oh. Okay. Okay, so if you read the books, you have a totally different opinion on Jeremiah, basically. Again, I would like to add this scene shown is to highlight Belly and Connie's connection rather than Stephen and Jeremiah. Stephen also says, yeah, Conrad, let's just go. Haven't you ever been like this with your closest friends? Again, that was not the intention of the scene. The scene was about Bells and Conrad to show us their dynamics, so that's the main focus there. And then this person gets downvoted to hell again. It is the main focus in the way Jenny wrote the story. I'm not sure why people don't understand what is going on. This isn't real life. It's an adaptation of the books. Jer is in the story to show he and Belly have a special connection. I do believe she loves him, but she's not in love with him. This is why season 3 is so pivotal, because it's highlighting why they can't get married. Jer will come to realize this too, and I bet Jenny has a great ending for him. You get it, dude. That's exactly my point. I too am hopeful for a sweet, happy ending for Jer Bear. Can't believe I just read that. Where he finds someone who puts him first, and he can put away all his hatred, jealousy, resentment, and be with someone who loves him just as deeply as he does. Downvoted again. Why are our posts no longer in the thread? Did we get deleted? Wondering the same thing. No, you just got downvoted. suspicious that we don't see any Jer-Belly dynamic. Like I said, the love triangle is a marketing strategy to get more attention. The book and show has always been about Belly and Conrad, so Jeremiah is only a side to the triangle. Also, the show is from Belly's POV, and she doesn't reminisce about her friendship because there is nothing to reminisce about. She still has him, so unless she thinks about it, we won't see it. Okay, if you have a sibling, okay, I do have a sibling. Let's see this. You should understand that most of the time they fight like cats and dogs, but still love each other. True. That is true. That's 100% true. If you have siblings, you can definitely confirm. How can you compare Steven and Jer when one of them is a love interest best friend and the other is her brother? And no, most people haven't been like that with their closest friends. If you have, your friends are toxic. Yeah, the main focus... Okay, that's not 100% true. I've definitely ribbed... If you're best friends, you've definitely made fun of them before, or they made fun of you, and you just brush it off. It is what it is. Like, I've had roasting friends where the whole time you're just completely ripping each other apart, and you do it out of fun. It's just fun. There's no, like, menace behind it or anything like that. Like, that is a very common thing to do. Bonrad's flashbacks are for symbolizing Belly's feelings for Conrad, and the reason she doesn't have many flashbacks with Jer is probably because she doesn't feel the same way. Why have flashbacks when you can fabricate a relationship in your head? Team Delulu. Oh my gosh. Hey. Jeremiah's proposal to Belly was actually so wild. Do I need to talk about this? Because I cannot get over it. I just rewatched the latest episode, and I still can't believe Jeremiah really proposed to Belly right after they got back together. After cheating? Twice? Like, be serious. They didn't even talk things through properly. As Taylor said, they were back for like 30 seconds. Don't even get me started on the ring. Ooh, what's wrong with the ring? It was out of desperation in both of their pairs. She has made her world so singularly focused on Jeremiah, she didn't even know how to cope. If he wasn't the center of her world, neither did he. Interesting. It's the only way Jeremiah found to get Belly to forgive her, or forgive him. And let me say, it seems so desperate to me. He knows that if he loses Belly, he will be all alone because Conrad is on the other side of the world and his father treats him terribly. Jeremiah doesn't ask Belly to marry him because he really loves her. He asks because he knows that if he loses her, he won't have anyone left. Ooh. It's a really bad idea. Why anyone thinks it's a great idea for them to get married baffles me. I'm sorry, but what's so romantic about either proposal? Interesting. Doesn't make any sense in the book. At least in the show, the proposal was on the heels of Steven's car accident, so Belly was still emotional and was just happy to have Jeremiah around. Oh, that's one for the show, I guess. Apparently it was confusing in the book. She's not thinking about how will she trust Jer again. If they really wanted to be together, they would have worked on trust building. Interesting. It's going to come crashing down when she sits with their thoughts. I hate that she is living in her fantasy world. You know what? Hey, life is tough sometimes. Maybe you need a little fantasy world, okay? It happens. We've all been there where you're just kind of, going for the ride. I'm sure at the time it was very sweet. And it's not every day that you get proposed to. So, maybe that was a first for her and she just overcame with excitement or something. Boy, these Reddit posts are always interesting, aren't they? If you have any more topics you want to talk about with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Certainly do so. We do have a Discord channel for The Summer I Turned Pretty. So if you want to hop in there and give your take on what we just went over, Clearly, there was a lot of opinions in there. So let yours be heard. The proposal was outside the hospital of Steven's accident. Oh, so it was like fresh. It was a fresh moment. She was wrapped up in something else, emotional, vulnerable, not thinking very clearly, especially if it's after like an accident where someone's almost potentially killed. Yeah, that's not the time to be making lifetime decisions. So he kind of caught her at a moment where she just, I don't know. I think she was just kind of clinging to something, anything maybe. Like, put yourself in her situation. Accident, your brother, you're just emotionally wrecked. You're like, what happened? What's going on? And then somebody asks you a question like that and you like mildly or even majorly have feelings for them, like you would fold for sure. Like you don't even know what's going on. You're lost. You're looking for somebody to grab onto and be secure. Like that is a recipe for saying yes to something you probably should have said. Let me think about it. Ask me again in a week. He didn't even give the ring straight away or go down on one knee. So it was more of just floating an idea than a proposal, honestly. If you don't have the ring and the going down on one knee thing, obviously that's just tradition, sure. To do that at a later date, that tells me he was probably just floating it. Floating the idea, which there's no harm or foul in that. It's a little weird in the fact that, you should be confident in it if you're going to be, doing that. Like, it's a big deal, right? It's life-changing, potentially. Well, it is life-changing. If they say yes. If they say no, your life doesn't change at all. But it is a life-changing decision, so you should probably take it seriously. And if you're going to be asking or even bring up the discussion, you might want to have a ring and really do it. So yeah, that to me is more like a would you. Like, hey, let's just get married. Like, let's go to Vegas and get hitched kind of thing. And you just kind of joke about it together. He straight up was like, will you marry me, after she forgave him for cheating? That's a tough one. If I were to put myself in his shoes, which is a weird spot to be, it's almost like, okay, I'm assuming I'm putting myself in his shoes. He was probably very worried she would not forgive him, right? Understandable. Benson Boone song in the background. Sorry, I'm here for someone else. Yeah, he was probably worried he was going to lose her. And when she forgave him, I guess, he probably just took that as a sign like, okay, she forgave me. She's got to be the greatest human being ever. I want her forever. And then he just blurted it out. I'm assuming that's what that was. It was more than likely a desperate attempt to keep her in, I think that one person's right, keep her in his life. Because he guaranteed going through his head that entire day or whatever was, she'll never talk to me again. She'll never forgive me. It's over. So her forgiving him was probably just, whoa, marry me. It's one of those things, I'm sure you've seen this in, hopefully you haven't done this, but I'm sure you've seen this in movies and TV shows where somebody gets overly excited and then they propose or they drop the L word a little too soon, like, oh, I love you. And the other person's just like, oh, I've known you for 3 days. Thanks. I'm assuming it was kind of like that. It's just a premature, dropping of the L word, or in this case, the will you marry me phrase. Apparently he cheated because he knew Conrad and Belly were at the beach house at the same time at Christmas, even though nothing happened and they didn't even know each other was there. No. So what you're saying is he's got a inferiority complex. He is it sounds like he's like a doom spiraler, you know, where he knows that they're both there and just spirals. Maybe you've done this. Maybe you know somebody who spirals, where you think up all the worst. They're doing it right now. They're doing it overlooking the water. Like, just tunnel going down and down and down. Like, they're laughing at me, you know, kind of thing, where you're just like, you take it out on, you know, somebody else or something like that. He just wanted Belly to tell him, I guess, but then he went and cheated to then not go and tell Belly. I don't know. That's interesting. That is such a messy situation. And obviously, yeah, there's no forgiving. I don't know how Belly could ever forgive someone for that, but there's no forgiving any of that. That's wild. That is wild. To do that in response to something somebody else is doing. Like, that is, boy, that's rough. That's a rough one to explain. I'm trying to be like devil's advocate here, but I can't. I can't. Oh, that's a doom spiral if I've ever heard one. Maybe he thought they were over, I guess. So he's like, it's not cheating if, you know, it's over. Was it in question? That's my question. Was it in question? Was it like on Friends when Ross and Rachel were on a break kind of thing? Or was it properly like cheating? It was definitely messy, especially because Belly really hadn't been with any other people meanwhile. Jer was known for being more of a player character in the early seasons, so it hurt her. Yeah. I could see it. I could see it. Without seeing the show, I can see it. She probably saw it as him falling back in his old ways, I suppose. Like, it's hard to forgive somebody when they can just so easily go out and, you know, do it. Pun intended. Yeah, that's tricky. That is so tricky. Oh my gosh. The proposal is amazing. There's literally, this isn't part of the links that I had set up, but there's literally an article of all the reasons Jeremiah shouldn't have proposed to Belly. Number 1, cheated on her twice. Well, there you go. Not once, but twice. He planned a whole trip to Cabo without inviting Belly because she doesn't like his frat bros. Told her last minute they had a fight and broke up. Then he slept with another girl while he was there and later tried to say it was okay because, oh my gosh, they were on a break. This isn't Friends, Jeremiah. Oh my gosh. I love that I brought that up. And it is literally what was happening. That's funny. We were on a break. Just remember Ross yelling that. Even Lola, who plays Belly, agrees. She told Elle magazine, no matter whether you think that he cheated or not, it's wrong. I personally don't think they were on a break or broken up. The argument was so quick and everything happened so fast. This is one of the main reasons why Jeremiah shouldn't have proposed to Belly. He proposed seconds after they got back together. Cheating alone should have disqualified him for proposing, but he didn't even wait. No proving anything, no working to rebuild trust. Just, sorry I cheated, will you marry me? The timing was horrendous. Yeah, as we were just talking about, near fatal accident. Yeah, your brain is like everywhere. Felt manipulative and not romantic. Oh my God. If Hot Cocoa had proposed to her in that moment, she might have said yes. Yeah, no, if you have a family member woken up from a coma near a fatal accident, you're not thinking clearly. There was no ring at first, and then that ring. Oh boy. I know this is ridiculous to do. But wait a minute. Let's see if we can zoom in on that thing. That's there, kind of. I don't know why the website's doing that. There it is. It's there. Small ring. People made fun of it so much. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. I will be 110% honest here. I don't think it's right to make fun of that kind of thing, because you never know people's situations, of course. And, you know, people might actually choose something like that. So I don't think it's quite justified or good to make fun of things like that. Belly's not materialistic, we know that, but the ring is symbolic. It's not just about the size, it's about effort. First, he didn't even have one when he proposed. Then he showed up with a stacking ring. Yes, it's pretty, but it's not an engagement ring. It's literally the cat. They know the exact same one. Catbird Diamond Fizz Sparkler Ring, retailing at a casual $298. It screams I didn't think this through. Okay, all right. Let's not pocket watch so much where we're going, it's $298. What a bum. Just as a personal anecdote here, my parents were broke when they got married, and their rings, adjusted for inflation, was about that price. It doesn't matter. They were together for 38 years. Or no, wait. My math might be wrong there. They were together for 48 years. Sorry. Whoops. Scrubbed off a decade. They were together for 48 years. And their rings were just about that price when they got married. There were other rings down the road, but I wouldn't, poo-poo a relationship just based off of that. He's in major debt. Jeremiah's dad might have had money, but Jer, not so much. He's repeating a semester because he missed an email, racking up another $20K in debt. People say Belly doesn't care about money. Fair, but again, what money? Well, that explains the ring, doesn't it? Just sounds like people ripping on him for not spending enough. They're only doing it because of the situation. People think that Jerry used his dad's money card because Jerry didn't really have any money, as they were both students and he was $20K in debt. To be fair, most college students or university students are broke. And especially if you have student loans, you're literally broke. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rip anybody for this. This is like typical college student, university student. They're all in debt. They're all struggling. Like, I remember literally looking for free food anywhere. It could be some like guest speaker somewhere of something that I have no interest in. And there's like, oh, lunch will be provided. I'm like, I'm there. Just show up. Where's the food? They're still in college. Jeremiah is a super senior. Hey, I was a super senior. Let's not make fun of that. I was a super senior too. Neither of them have a stable job, long-term plan. Still need to figure out their futures, their careers, where they'll live. See, okay. I know this is current thinking. You got to have everything figured out. But for millennia, people were getting married in college. People are getting married right after high school. Did you know anybody that got married right after high school? I know of people. So that's not that long ago. Like, it doesn't really matter when. It just matters that you found the right person. That's it. You can figure out your future and your careers and be married. Like, there's no rule that you have to figure everything out first, be stable, and then get married. Especially if it's somebody that will help you grow and like has vested interest in you. Like, nothing pushes you further and harder than someone who is literally married to you, like legally married to you. They want you to succeed. Why? Because it helps them succeed. And if you're both trying to succeed, you're going to be pushing each other like crazy. Like, you're both in it together. Nothing is more team than legally being bonded to somebody. So I think this level of thinking is more like current era, where if you think about it for half a second, like that stuff was going on forever. Like, people were getting married even before that, like really early. They had no idea what the heck they were going to do. I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot of red flags here. Like, the big ones are the cheating, obviously. But I wouldn't slam anybody for getting married in college. I wouldn't slam anybody for getting married out of high school. If you believe it's that person and nobody else, go for it. Why not? Life's short. You could die tomorrow. Literally. You could die tomorrow. Happens every day. People, go to sleep, think they're going to wake up, and they don't. You get to live one life. Live it to its fullest. Make smart decisions, of course. Their situation, the timing of it was horrendously bad. But if he felt it was the right thing to do, a later time would have been better. Of course. Don't rush into something like that. Make it a solid decision. But, don't let other people's expectations hold you back or hinder you. This is your life, and it could be over in an instant. You only get one life, one go. Live what you can, do what you can, enjoy it, all that good stuff. I know this is coming off as like preachy, but I've been around a lot of mortality throughout my life, and it reassured in me that life is short and fleeting. You have got to have fun, got to enjoy it. I think it was also the fact that Jared grew up rich, so he wanted a very nice wedding, and the 70% cacao cake with raspberry for like $700. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There is such a thing as growing up rich and not having a good sense of money. Like, just because, and this is a big one, just because you have money doesn't mean you're good with money. Like, you can be smart, you could be a surgeon, brain surgeon, but that doesn't mean you're good with money. You could be in debt, like severely. You could be broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and be a brain surgeon. It all depends on how much you spend, right? You can earn $500,000 US dollars a year, but you could also spend $600,000, and then you're in debt. Like, it is interesting. Like, just because people are rich doesn't mean they're good with money. I've watched so many videos on YouTube of people that are like, hey, I make, my wife and I make $400,000 US dollars a year, and we're $200,000 in debt. And it's just like, how? What? It happens. He wanted to add to the card, even though they couldn't afford it, just for the cake. In a way, I can understand wanting to do that because it's a big event, right? Everybody's going to be there. People are going to see you. It was so funny. People were calling him Jarawonka because he knew so much about chocolate. That's funny. That is funny. Kind of an odd thing to be specific about, but hey, there's some people that have their whole wedding planned out and they're nowhere near a marriage. So I'm not going to poke too much fun in it, but yeah, that is interesting. Also, my idea with wedding cakes, I guess, yeah, I mean, it probably makes sense to have like one small, very nice looking cake, kind of like the prop cake, if you will, and then just bring out like sheet cakes for everybody else. Like, keep the main prop cake for you and your spouse, now spouse, and then just send out a bunch of sheet cakes for everybody else. Sheet cakes are good. They're tasty. They're moist. You know, they're good. I've had tons of them in my life, and they're fantastic. And they're not going to know. People have been drinking, whatever. That's my ideas. It was supposed to be more intimate, but eventually became something for business partners and out of control once their dad started to plan it. Oh, boy. That's too bad. So the dad got kind of big decisions because he was paying for it, and Jerry started working for him. People called him a Nepo baby. Well, yeah, if you start working for the family business, you will be labeled a Nepo baby, 100%. Depends on where you start. If he started at started in an entry-level position, I would argue that's not nepotism, but there's still a little trace of it. He did get the job. But if you start him low enough, I think you can argue that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like, certainly a extreme case of nepotism would be like installing your kid as CFO, like instantly. Like, boom, you're in charge of all the finances. Started as an intern. That's not too bad. Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, nepotism is all around us. It happens constantly. But as long as you start low enough in the company ladder for a little bit and you get kind of a sense of like the ground level, I don't see it as that big of an issue. Now, if he jumped over me and I've been at the company for 10 years and was introduced as like a 10-year veteran, oh, the fumes coming off of me. I'd be furious. I would be so mad. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was amazing. I hope you enjoyed it. Boy, that might start some conversations. I'm assuming the comments are going to be very interesting, and if you want to continue that with more detail, you can certainly do it in the Discord. It's totally free to join. Link is everywhere. It's on the website. It's under the video, etc. Certainly do so. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. Follow the Twitch channel if you want to watch live and join the conversation while we're here. And yeah, I hope you have a tremendous week ahead. Check out the accessories on the website. I will see you all on Friday. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Live life. That's what they say, right? Live life to the fullest. I will see you all on Friday. Bye-bye.